That's gonna be a funny ass intro. Hey, Cuff. Wait. True that. Holy notifications. Who's texting you? Oh God. Can you imagine that shit if you called it tomorrow? Like, hey, we're getting Aquanaut. Like, oh, there goes Spy. I'm expecting a pool video. Oh, wait a second. Let me change it.
Are you live already?
Yes.
Oh shit.
But anyways, yeah, that'll be interesting. Let's see. Aaron, where have you been, man? What happened to you last week?
School, man. School.
Man, who the fuck does homework on a Saturday night?
Well, I'm doing homework right now, so I don't have to do it tomorrow during the football games.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, that's more important than us. I see how it is.
Apparently.
You know, last week I had 4 of them to do. Right now I just have 1.
Nah.
So.
All I hear is excuses right now, you damn whale.
Mr. I have 2 Sephiroths. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Wait till that banner comes out in global, and I see you get like 3.
Aaron's gonna have like 4, like you did in summer.
4.
Wait till I see that shit.
Coda, do not buy this man Sephiroth.
I have to go get it myself first. What are you talking about?
But you forget, guys. You forget. Until that happens in global, I'm not the whale. It's lost.
What the hell?
No.
I am no whale. I'm free to play. I have proof. I have a free to play account. Anyways, to everybody who has just joined in the chat, welcome to the live podcast of the Kingdom Hearts Union Talks, where, as always, we talk a lot of smack, but we keep it real. So welcome, everybody.
Everybody, it's Kevin. Welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Union Cross the podcast, the only place where it's not the size of your Keyblade that matters, it's what you do with it. It's an even time right now, so we're going to get right into it. I'm only going to talk during even times, because that's when the good topics come out. Oh my god.
Who invited this kid?
Who the hell is this?
Who are you?
Oh, it's time.
That
Yeah.
voice cracked out.
It's time. Well,
It's Kevin time.
well, to everybody who's in here right now, if you don't already know who this beautiful, actually no, he's ugly, person is, it's Spinebreaker. We finally got him.
Hello.
Even though he's only here for a short little bit of time, we still managed to get him in here and his even number self.
If you don't know who Spinebreaker is, I don't like you.
That's right, it's Kevin Even Numbers Jenkins to all you people.
Like,
Alright,
you're
so-
talking on an odd number right now, so.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
Damn.
Shut up, man.
Oh man! All right, Spine. So
All right,
we
16,
gotta
talk.
we. All right, so we gotta get you, because I know you mentioned it in a video, man. But like, have you gotten any more like attacks in quotation marks about like your posts like on Reddit or like the videos and whatnot you've been making about your theory?
No, actually, a couple of people have commented in the comments. They've been very like respectful and like, "Hey, man, if I went over the line, I'm sorry." And people have been really respectful of it. I made that video to kind of level with people of, "Hey, listen, we're all in this together. We're all trying to get good traits." And the fact was, all of us were just trying to help. And this trait system's kind of bullshit. It really is, because you'll be saving. For me, like, I'm super cheap to play. You'll save forever. You'll blow all your jewels to get the medal you want, and then you get like 5 para resists. I don't think that's a fair trade, but everyone's been really respectful. It's over, it's done with. I'm still gonna trait on even times and pull on even times because it's fun as hell. But oh man, that storm, thank God that's over. Ugh.
Yeah, I seen the post. I can't remember if you linked it to me or somebody else linked it to me, but I was reading like some of the stuff on there, and damn, people were busting on you, winning you.
Oh, I know, right? And I'm like,
Did it hurt?
dude, like, holy cow, we're playing a mobile game. This isn't even Dota. It's not even important.
It's not even Dota. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But that's how the community is. Whether it be in this community or on Reddit. So
You're gonna feel
Yeah.
the heat.
I'll probably stay away from Reddit just because it's full of awful, awful people.
like
I will
me.
say, I gotta give you a round of applause though. All the people that are giving negative comments on your channel, at least you're not hiding them from your channel.
No,
Unlike
you know
some
what?
people.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I legitimately said in my video, the person I disagree with the most at the end of the day is still a person, and they could be having a rough day, and the only way that they can maybe be heard, because life sucks, is by writing a comment. So more power to them, you man. You know, like if you don't agree with me, that's great, but everyone's entitled to an opinion. If it's like belligerent or whatever, I'll delete it just because that's dumb. But everyone's entitled to an opinion, even if it's not mine.
Am I the only one who doesn't delete comments in this community, or what? Or am I just
Yeah,
that damn blunt?
I mean, if you're getting
I don't
attacked
know.
in the comments, I think you have every right to delete the comments. But if someone just posts a comment on your channel that contradicts your opinion,
Well, yeah, I can see
and
that.
you just want to make a scene about it and then hide people or delete their comments, like I've literally been hit off someone's channel this week.
Hmm.
I'm still debating whether or not I want to name drop him. I'm not. Maybe later when I'm more intoxicated. But started with Coda, and then his
Yeah, it's
comment
Coda's fault.
disagreed with this person's
Oh, huh?
opinion on something, and I made one comment, and now I'm hidden from his channel forever. So I've been banned off the Facebook page. I've been banned off the YouTube channel. What's next?
Paying out the mobile game.
I'm going to Reddit.
Go from there.
Can you imagine if Baz got banned from Cucks for no reason? Like somebody hated him so much that that they
I'm
reported
gonna
you
get
like
mashed
over
up
100
tonight,
times.
I guarantee it.
Or they can just go to Glacy going like, Glacy, there's this guy called Badger in the game who's always being mean everywhere he goes. Delete his account.
What do you mean I'm being mean? I just made that fucking super detailed guide for these people.
Yeah, which I will be
Over a
mentioning
week
that in the
doing
video
that.
here soon. But anyways, speaking of Glacier, wasn't there something that we had to talk about that was mentioned about that? I think Coda, you had
Was it
posted
when
it.
she like misspoke about something with the storyline, and now it's gonna haunt her forever?
Oh well, I think
Wasn't
everybody's
that
been
whole
up.
debacle?
Yeah, I'm about to say like everybody's been up a butt about that.
Well, you know, to be fair, I mean, I know she kind of misspoke exactly, but like as a public face for the Square Enix USA side, saying what she said in that context and the way she said it was not good. I mean, that was just like, I mean, I think everybody who read that or heard her say that on the stream kind of paused and was just like, did she really just say that?
Yeah.
And then if you're watching that stream, you just saw those comments blow up with like,
Are we referring to the part like we're not going to be caught up by the time Cage 3 comes out? Is that the comment we're referring to?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because I get that point. They were upfront, and I do appreciate that. They were upfront going like, hey, you know what? The global version of the game won't be caught up by the time KH3 releases. They were honest about that. Okay, I respect that portion. But it was the manner in which she said it, because the manner in which she said it, and like I forget her exact wording, because I mean, I was catching tail ends of this one. But from what I understand, the way she said it, like the way she presented it in that manner, made it seem like Square Enix USA or Cena USA was just like, get over it. I mean, you're not going to get it. It's whatever, it's,
Yeah.
It was really just like very callous the way it was laid out. And she got a lot of flack. Like I actually watched a bit of the comments after she said that going across the screen, and she was getting attacked right then and there, like in all those comments just exploding on that stream. And they had to go in for like immediate like damage control for that one. And then as soon as that happens, lo and behold, now she has a assistant to assist her with making, I guess, community content and keeping up with the community, which is kind of interesting timing for that, regardless. But it wasn't very good overall.
Wait, she has an assistant now? I didn't hear about that.
You didn't watch
You
the
didn't see that
stream?
post?
Nah.
It was the blonde in the stream.
Oh, it was her.
Emily?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't even know who Nominee was. She was like, Nama what?
Well, I feel like that's the major problem that Lost just brought up, is the fact that public figures like them talk for us, but the problem is they feel so disconnected. It feels like they don't play the game. It feels like they don't know the storyline. Yeah, they have a loose idea, but honestly, if you're going to get someone that talks to the community, especially a community that has theory videos about Sora's mom, right? Just small shit like that, you need to know what the hell you're talking about so you can judge your wording a little bit better, or at least feel, if you're going to say, we're not going to be caught up by KH3, have a little passion behind it and be like, I am sorry, but I don't think we're going to be caught up. I want to be caught up. I know you guys want to be caught up. It's just not feasible right now. Like things like that. Use your words a little bit wiser.
Yeah, that would have been a much better way of going about it.
assassinate.
I don't think she would have been attacked the way she was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely
exactly.
not. Definitely not.
She was very blunt about it, and I completely understand everyone's frustration with it. I mean, I'd like to be caught up with the story too. I don't want to play 3 and have some gap in the story where I'm like, I don't know what's happening, because I mean, it's unlikely that's going to happen to like a big extent, but
Well, no,
you don't want to have
I
any
think the
blind
biggest thing
hole
with that
when
one-
you're doing the story.
I think the biggest thing with that one, in regards to Cucks, in regards to KH3, is Nomura already said there's a pretty big link in it. So if there's like a pretty big link between Cucks and KH3, you go like, hey, you know, you guys might want to have like a big part of that story done for global, so that it's addressed, so that when those issues do pop up in KH3, people know what the hell's going on, or people go, oh, okay, that happened in Cuck, so that makes sense for here. You know, you have that link going for it. Now it seems like we're not going to have that link, so when it does pop up in KH3, we're going to go, we haven't seen, you know, X, Y, or Z yet, but we assume they're going to come in Cucks. And you would think that since KH3 is going to be like the bigger game, it is like the marquee AAA game, you would have that kind of moment, that kind of revelation happening in your big game that people have been waiting for over 10 years, as opposed to now the impact of it is probably going to be felt a little more in the mobile game, where we'll get to that point in Cucks and go, oh, this makes sense for what happened in 3. It should be the opposite. It should be, this makes sense for what happened in Cucks. Now it makes sense here because we're playing 3 and we have that link established. That's gone now.
That'll bring people that have left Cucks. That'll bring people back to the game when they start playing 3 and there's a close tie to it. They're going to want to get back into the mobile game. It's smart business marketing, and they handled it so poorly.
I don't get what the holdup is. Like, I don't know. I mean, JP's already put these missions out. I don't know how long it takes to translate these things. I mean, Roboloid's usually pretty spot on. I mean, maybe a higher Roboloid. You can translate this shit and put it in global. I don't know.
What the hell?
With Anniversary, they can just translate it straight across, obviously, since they kyped a lot of our stuff. So just translate it. Just translate it, put it out.
Yeah, I don't know what the holdup is. Like, I don't even know why we're not caught up already.
I think it's because no, I think it's because of the fact that, you know, both versions of the game got released at different days. JP first, so of course JP is going to be ahead a little bit, but at the same time, though, seeing as how Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out, you would think that they would release at least like 2 story updates a month to try to catch up to where like JP is at least, because and even though Glacier, which I bet you she probably knew that she messed up, but still kept it going because it was the live stream. I felt like if she wanted to, she could have probably just lied and be like, oh yeah, you guys are gonna be able to catch up and whatnot. But I don't know. I mean, I think they should do it that way, because we have like what, 3 months left until Kingdom Hearts, or 3.5 really of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. And the thing is, though, especially with public speakers like, say, like herself, the people who make videos and whatnot, et cetera, that you know, that a lot of people look up to and whatnot, and sometimes will follow whatever it is that they say. You would think that they would actually approach content creators and be like, you know, either like help us out, you know, or maybe we can offer to do something to try to help out over there as well. Because I mean, you know, we're the ones that are in a way kind of showing off your game even more. We're promoting it even more. So, you know, you would think that instead of just focusing on one person, you can focus on like many of different aspects, different personalities, you know, this and that. But seeing as how it's more of like a business thing, to them, it's like almost impossible to even get in contact with one person.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
They should have been much better off not saying anything at all, but sometimes things slip. So.
Well, I mean, that was a question that had to be answered, honestly. I mean, I get, like, people have been asking her that for, like, a while now, from what I understood prior to that stream. So, I mean, I get that she tried to answer it and everything, which, again, is good. Like, that was a question that needed to be answered, in all honesty. Either a yes or no. And even though no would have disappointed people, which obviously, yes, it would, you still had to get the answer out there. It was just the way she she put it out there was not the best in the world. But, you know, I mean, she's trying to, I guess they're trying to fix that little issue as well, too. But now we know it's out there at least, so, you know, people can be ready for that one. That we're going to see some links between KH3, 4 cucks that aren't answered in the mobile game yet. But like I said, it's good just to have that known now at least.
Watch.
I mean, considering how stagnant they are at releasing story content for global, I mean, we still got to finish Maleficent Dragon, and then we still got to go back to visit all the worlds that JP just
go
finished.
Back to visit everyone's favorite world, Aladdin.
Yeah, going back to Agrabah. Can't wait. Can't wait to spend 3 months in the sand. Looking forward to it. By the time KH3 comes out, we're probably not even going to be where JP is going to be next week. Assuming JP gets an update, which I'm sure they will. So
yeah, I mean, like, next month is a strong possibility that we should be getting a story quest update, but it's actually going to be something new, and that's, you know, not like a filler.
And hopefully a new Keyblade. Oh, it's been so long since we got a new Keyblade. It hurts. It hurts so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a new Keyblade, except for JP's going to get it like 4 months before Global does, because we're so fucking far behind in the story. So.
That Keyblade thing is interesting, actually, because I did watch Badger's video for that one, which was really cool, about the potential new Keyblade coming up with the new world that we're supposed to get for cucks.
I made a video?
Yeah, you made a video?
No, Badger, or sorry, Code, I'm so lost it. My bad.
What are you going by the list or something?
I was like, that asshole totally ripped off a Lost's video.
What the hell? Copyright.
He did that too.
Sorry.
No, but it's Lost video, and you have to imagine, like, one of the reasons I think they haven't put out a new Keyblade or anything yet is because we haven't really had the materials in the game to support getting one leveled up to usability. But now with the drop of that new, like, triple gym board in JP, or you can pretty much get what, 60 of each gym type, I think it was.
Yeah.
Over time, and they're permanent. Like, you know, once you finish one more will pop up immediately, and you can keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of gem drop in the game, despite the fact that everything is up to level 50 at the cap right now, that does show me that, hey, you know what? You're gonna have the materials now to get a new Keyblade leveled up to usability pretty freaking quick. So that makes sense. And then with that's the case, I imagine they would have to potentially up the, like, you know, maybe from 2 to 3 or 4 and like the weekly VIP gym thing, or, you know, just give out more gems as rewards to help people be able to level up blades faster, or, you know, in a timely manner to keep on competing. So that was very interesting. I mean, that was a very good video that Badger put out, or not Badger, sorry,
Thanks,
Lost put out about that one.
Jeez.
It was pretty good about that one. That actually made me pause and go, that does make a lot of sense for a new Keyblade, which again ties into the fact, you know, what Keyblade would be one in the game. Because so far, everything I've heard for new Keyblade has been reverse fairy stars.
Yeah.
Which I think would be pretty freaking cool, but
oh, man,
I have no idea.
They need to put in a reverse fairy stars, and what they need to do is keep the, in my opinion, you know, when you do a quest and it boosts your Keyblade, like we have right now, Starlight is boosted.
Yeah.
They need to make those permanent as well to kind of reinvigorate the game. That way, you know, Treasure Trove and those other blades will actually have a purpose in the game again.
Wait,
that would be really nice, and it would make sense for a buff cap as well for that, so that these blades have a purpose, because no one's going to be running Treasure Trove on anything unless it's Proud or it's PvP.
Oh, you got a point there.
I mean, I can see that up to a point, but I also don't see them really doing that, because I think they feel, unfortunately, that PvP and Proud are the only spots to really make people use those blades.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't agree with that exactly, but I mean, I can kind of see that, because when people look at the blades, and this is based purely off aesthetics, when you look at, like, you know, Treasure Trove compared to like Fenrir or even like, you know, what, 3 wishes compared to like counterpoint, you're gonna go, that blade looks boring, counterpoint looks a lot better, I want to use that. So I mean, and let's be honest, aesthetics do play a big part in this game and a lot of games in the first place anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Diamond Dust is beautiful, and so is Stroke of Midnight. Compared to the other 2 blades, definitely.
Yeah, one thing I want to know from the comments that I'm reading right now as we're doing this is Roboloid did mention that the other possibility of them releasing so many gem boards, especially in JP, now that we have 3 of each, is also because of the level cap increase in Keyblades as well.
So, yeah,
that's true.
So it could also be that as well.
Man, I hope not.
Don't crush my vibe. I'm hoping for a new Keyblade, Robo. Come on.
Well, there are people like myself that aren't interested in taking Keyblades to 40. I'm really not. I have what is it, Fairy Stars to 36, and that's all I'm interested in doing. I do fairly well with that. 35 to get it shiny is really all I care about. I've seen the screenshots of like 40s and 50s, and they're insane.
Yes.
But I think it would be misplaced if they didn't just put a new Keyblade at least to shut us up for a while.
I would laugh if some JP player bought all the boards and made their Starlight too, but any blade like into the 40s or maxed out at 50, and then next week we get a new Keyblade.
That would be my thing too. Like if our next story update, if per se we didn't get a new world, or we didn't get any hints of the new world, and I decide all of a sudden be like, you know what, I'm gonna increase Fairy Stars as far as I can, and then we get a new Keyblade like the following month, I'm gonna be pissed.
Rip.
Yeah.
No, I've already decided. Like Kevin said earlier, it's like I don't have any interest in getting past the 38.2 that my Fairy Stars is at. I think that's plenty high enough. I'm gonna get my Mog to 35. That'll be almost every blade up to 35 besides Reverse Proud and the 3 basic piece of shit blades. So once they're all shiny, I don't really care after that. I'm just gonna save every single gem until we get a new Keyblade, and then I'm gonna max that motherfucker out as high as I can, because that'll probably last another 3 years.
For 3 years? Wait, we're playing this game for 3 years? Oh god.
I mean, we've had Fairy Stars for what, a year and a half? I mean, just kind of going off trend. We're gonna get 1 Keyblade every year and a half.
Fairy Stars is old as hell.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, one thing they could do to add to this game to kind of uplift it a little bit would be to do like some type of event that is not stupid hard, that, you know, it's about like a good level between free to play, cheap to play, whales are gonna care, but like mainly for like cheap to plays and free to plays, where we get new Keyblades, say like every 3 months, not every 3 months, but like at like a duration of time, to kind of keep the game fresh. Because not only would it keep it fresh, but it would also affect other things in the game, like, I don't know, say using it against like a raids, PvP. We don't have to keep seeing the same, what is it, 12, however many Keyblades it is, every month and whatnot. You know, it could change it up, because there's so many Kingdom Hearts games out there. There's so many Keyblades. It's not like you have trouble choosing as to which Keyblade you want to release or use, or, you know, let players have and whatnot, you know? Like, I know this game was
so many that they could use. Like, there's been, what, 11 games so far? They could take a ton of them.
Exactly. And
they have no problem making original ones, too. I mean, Starlight's an original one to Cox, so they can always make original ones.
And my thing is, too, like, yeah, I know that this, you know, this game, like, the storyline at least is, like, I don't know, like, however many, like, 1,000 years ago, whatever it is. But, you know, we're going back to all of these worlds and everything that was in Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and every other Kingdom Hearts game. So, I mean, I don't see it being too much of a problem if they were to do something like that.
Well, it'd be fun, too, if they incorporated, I don't know, challenges in PvP. Like, what if they had a vanilla mode where you only have the vanilla blades and you can only go up to tier 3 guilds? So you have to use vanilla ones. Yeah, they could be tier 7 or 7-starred, but that would be kind of fun. Just things where you don't have the stupid overpowered, if other people can try to get into the top 2,000, 3,000. That way we can hear Yak Crocodile over and over again.
Oh, that was great.
was beautiful.
That's the one reason I do not want voice medals in global, is you just hear the same thing over and over and over.
You don't want to hear Haley Joel Osment talk to you, man? Come on, what's wrong with you?
I'd enjoy it for like a day, and then it's like, okay, mute.
Well, I mean, if they were to add voice to global, then they should at least have like an on and off button for that, you know?
That's true. That's true.
Oh my god, that was like set up perfect. I promise you guys, to everybody who's watching this, that was not scripted.
Oh, this is never scripted.
Nope.
This is
nope. I'm sitting in my freaking hot car, getting ready to go back to work here in a little bit. That wasn't scripted at all.
Oh man.
I like the idea of having like new Keyblade every 3 months or something like that, and it being like an event. The only problem is why I don't think they would do that is for the people that would come in after that event, they would never have access to that Keyblade unless they return the event again.
Then they should make it permanent.
Right.
Because they have like other things. Quest? Yeah, they have the Sun Gem quest, the new Chasma Challenges quest. If they were able to do that with that and make it permanent.
Yeah, Keyblades in these Chasma Challenges, that'd be awesome.
That would be a great idea. To put that in there.
And actually make those a little more difficult than the current Chasma Challenge events in there now, because they're really not that hard. I mean, granted, I sweep through everything I do.
No, but what they could also do, if you know, especially for free-to-play players, is the beginning of the Chasma Challenges, you know, make them easy, right? That way people can obtain these Keyblades and whatnot. Then, using those Keyblades, imagine if those Keyblades had strong multipliers to help you clear out some of the more like advanced ones in the future for challenges. That way, you know, people can't say like, oh, like this event is too strong, I'll never be able to get this Keyblade, or you know, whatever other excuse it is, you know, people come up with.
Or say you like they initially put the Keyblade as a reward in the Chasma Challenges, and they had 10 quests right after that to get the evolved materials to make it stronger. Like, you can easily get the Keyblade, but you have to get the specific materials that are only available in the Chasma Challenges afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Moogle of Glory. It's like those materials to evolve Moogle of Glory were only in that event. So if they did that in the Chasma Challenges or some other form,
you know,
for the Keyblades, that would also be.
I was about to say, like, if they were to do that, then it would be it would actually like make me want to play the game a little bit more during the week, knowing the fact that, hey, I need to collect materials to upgrade this Keyblade, instead of you know, like something that I'll be able to complete in like what, 10 minutes. Right. Something like that would be fun.
Make
Ace just made a good point.
Kind of free. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was reading the chat, and Ace said they should release a new medal deal where you can get a trait medal for all the recent and previous medals that currently has a trait medal for. So, I mean, I'm thinking here that, okay, maybe they, in spite of the featured banner, they'd have like a separate rotational banner for all the trait medals that have come previously. It wouldn't have to be like a 3K, maybe a little bit less, maybe 1,500.
Like 1,500, yeah, that'd be great.
And that would be a great idea for them. Just keep it in rotation. So people can get it eventually.
I wish PvP had a thing where you can PvP your friends just for fun.
Yes.
You put in
private mode. I've been wanting private mode since before PvP.
That would be so much fun, and it would add
else.
content to the game. It would be fun as hell. Just to see what, like, you find the #1 guy, and just see how you would do against them. That would be fun.
Wrecked. No,
I know,
like,
it hurt so many people's soul.
You know what's funny is that one of my party members right now in JP is currently top 3. And she told me that this is going to be crazy, guys. Like, I was blown away by the amount of damage these players in top 10 are doing right now this week. Second ranked player right now in JP with their fairy stars, 189 million.
Oh my god.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. Like, the highest I've gotten so far is 132.
I've gotten 100 and
I'm happy with my 92.
But they didn't have a defense.
Yeah, the highest I've gotten on my fairy stars is like 109 million. That's with like 3 combo ones procking.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
That's crazy. I don't even have combo, and I'm happy getting 92 million on my fairy stars this week.
No, you know what would be an interesting feature as well would be to add in a crossplay between JP and Global. PvP wise.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh, goodness.
And I could kick Badger's ass.
Like permanently, or just like at certain events? I'd love to fight you, dude. No. Well, I know when they first announced PvP, I actually said I'm looking forward to fighting Lost. I wanted to fight Octo. I even challenged him on Twitter. But he can never get high enough to actually fight me, so that never happens. And Lost quit global, so I can't fight him either.
Suck it.
So, but Spine, you was about to say something?
He claims to be an elite player, so let's just leave it at that.
What'd you say, Lost?
No, I think you was about to say something.
No, I'm saying I have time for maybe one more small topic, then I gotta go.
Oh man, we're losing us. We're losing them. Chain him up. But yeah, so somebody in the comment section asked to talk about the Kingdom Hearts 3 cover art being potential medals. Seeing as how one of them we already got, it was a key art 18.
Unfortunately, that has a very high chance, due to history, of being a VIP medal. And on top of that, it's got a very high chance of being a niche situational only medal, which sucks. True. Like, I forget which one it was. It was from the original Kingdom Hearts game where Sora's standing in front of the moon. That medal, it's a upright power.
Oh yeah.
Amazing medal, but it didn't do hardly any damage. And then we have the one with him sitting on the throne, which overwrites your buffs. It's situational, so I would love for that medal to be super powerful, but in my opinion, it just really doesn't have that chance for it. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I would pull the shit out of that medal.
Well, if it's VIP, you ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
well, I mean, they've had a bunch of art pieces in the past, like where they've pulled the key arts from. I wouldn't be surprised to see key arts from the box cover. Very likely that they put some in VIP. I wouldn't be surprised to see some in medals, though. Like pullable medals.
Yeah, but
banners.
There have been some medals that we currently have in the medal pool. Like me and Spine were talking about it earlier. Because Spine said that he wanted to pull on Halloween medals since October's next month or tomorrow in JP. And I thought about it. I'm like, I don't think we have had any illustrated Halloween time medals yet. We've only had like the HD looking forms and blah 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 blah. But illustrated wise,
we had Halloween Sora, who if he was boosted, you'd get 150 gil rather than 140. And all he did was hit hard, like he had no abilities or anything, and that was pretty much it. We got LM Oogie, we got LM Jack, and then
the high school challenge Goofy and Donald.
Oh no, but we did have that one VIP medal that illustrated Halloween Sora as well.
Oh yeah, that was key art 14, I think.
Nah, it was like key art. I don't know, like it's an old key art. But yeah, and also Robolo just mentioned too, Halloween Town Sora and then Goofy and Donald, which were high school challenge medals back then.
Yep. Yeah. So I would love to have a ton of Halloween medals, man. That would be amazing.
It really sucks that Global is not able to get those medals though. Like it really does.
Actually, lost. It was key art 14.
Was it?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Well, never mind. Must be thinking of someone else.
I feel like Global has so many licensing restraints on it that it really cripples the game for them. Because there's still a slew of medals that they haven't had and they're really not going to get. Like what Lock, Shock, and Barrel, I don't think they have either, right?
We will never get Halloween Town medals.
Yeah.
Because of licensure problems.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is strange because they seem to have fixed that. I mean, I could have sworn they said Halloween Town was in KH3. So they appear to have the issues resolved for KH3, which I'm wondering why they couldn't put it into the mobile game for global at that point. Well,
the wording in the contract could be different too, though.
Yeah,
if it is
exactly.
in KH3, then they could just say it's only for KH3 and not for mobile games or mobile titles.
Yeah. But even though JP does get the Halloween Town medals, I mean, there are like both versions of the game do get exclusive medals. So it kind of balances it out. But of course, there might be some JP players that want some medals from global and then the other way around. So.
Yep. Yeah, I'd love DuckTales medals, even though I don't like the new art. But I mean, DuckTales is DuckTales, man. I would love those.
DuckTales.
All right, guys. I have to hit the road. It's been fun. I'll try to do this again.
All right,
More
man.
than welcome.
Have a
Stop
great
by
day, guys.
anytime.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
See ya.
He did it. He did the outro.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Take care, man. Have a good rest of
Outta
your
here.
worship.
See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. Well, aside from that, I mean, yeah, it would be nice to be able to what you call it? I was about to say, shit.
I don't know.
Words.
To have to have the like exclusive medals of the opposite version, in like said version and whatnot,
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was doing my guide, like, I ranked all the tier 5 through tier 8 medals, which I don't want to ever do again. But there are a few medals that are exclusive to only Global and only JP, but there really aren't as many as I thought there was. It's pretty much the Nightmare Before Christmas medals and the DuckTales. Because I only did tier 5 through tier 8. There's a couple other tier 3 and 4 that I ignored, but
Global has Toy Story though.
yeah, that's
as
tier
well.
4. I ignored those.
No.
I was just talking about tier 5 through tier 8, so basically all the relevant ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, Toy Story included, Buzz and Woody, and then there's the DuckTales. But JP really only has the Nightmare Before Christmas medals. Which, don't get me wrong, I'd love to have some of those medals because they're really good. Like the Boogie medal is really good.
Oh God, yes.
The Jack medal is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. What do you call it? Somebody in the comments, because they pinged me, said that by Ace told me that there should be a new medal where you can turn any medals either upright or reversed.
no.
Would that only work with copy medals though?
My thing is, how would that work exactly?
That would be a mess.
Make freaking what do you call it? Make Sora reverse metal. Oh man, he turned into darkness.
Xander.
I mean, I guess they would, artistically, it would just change the frame, but I'm just thinking, like, if you change, like, a reverse, like, if you changed Invisible to upright speed and put him on Fairy Stars.
Well, one thing they could do if they were to do something like that was, like, take example the Dark Knight Keyblade. In that one upright slot, what they could do is treat that as if, like, it was doing, like, a reverse attack. Instead of, like, changing, like, the whole metal frame and whatnot. So kind of like how the foretellers are doing right now, where they change the next metal into whatever attribute it is that they are. The metal, this other, let's I don't know, let's just say that this upright power is a Sora metal. Like, it would treat it, it would treat its attack as like a reverse attack, so that way it could do like max damage. Just say you're using Shion EX Kai as a buffer, instead of since the metal itself is an upright,
I think I'd prefer, instead of changing the metals, being able to change a particular slot on a Keyblade. Like changing an upright speed to a reverse speed.
Oh god, that'd be so broken. That would be insanely broken.
It would be.
They need
I
to
mean,
find ways to
if
power creep.
one or the other, I would take the changing of the metal slots, because that would make Dark Knight a lot better. What Diamond does. But
I'm not sure if they're gonna want to do that in terms of like the reverse blades. I mean, I can see them doing that. It would add a pretty cool dynamic to the game.
Yeah.
But I kind of think they want to leave like the reverse blades the way they are, because they present more of a challenge up to a point to use, considering obviously their primary reverse slots and then also their SP cost. So that seems like an intentional like design that they're not really gonna like want to interfere with too much.
yeah, I don't see either of those possibilities happening. So
Well,
it's fun to theorize about, and we could talk about it. I just don't see that ever happening. I think it's too much work on their part to actually do.
Well, not.
And it would be a mess for us to even try to work with.
Yeah, can you imagine, like, because I mean, it seems like, especially during this anniversary, they added in 2 new game mechanics, which was the foretellers, and then after that we got the SB Sephiroth medal, which equaled the Super Burst. So it makes you wonder if they are either running out of ideas or just throwing things out there, like the first thing they think of, they throw it out there. Because
I think they're coming up with a lot more ideas. Because, I mean, they're putting new mechanics in the game that we never even thought were possible. Or to an extent, I mean, the new things that we didn't ever think was going to happen. Like that Nominee EX Plus, that is such a great mechanic for PvE.
Yeah.
I love using that in the Coliseum. put her right before Syax.
Oh god,
it's amazing. It's amazing. I love it.
Or your Sora Simba.
Yeah, and using it in raid with Sora and Simba.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! My Sora and Simba has 3 raid traits. If you guys didn't know, and that thing shreds raid bosses like no. I can't wait to get combo on that thing. I'm already hitting 30 million a hit. When I get combo,
yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be insane.
But like the super burst, I haven't seen too much on it because I've had a really busy week. I haven't seen much on how it actually works, but I've seen, from what I have seen, it looks pretty damn OP in PvP. So that's an interesting mechanic.
Go to Roboloid's thing. He has it all listed out for you.
Oh, I haven't saved. I just haven't had a chance to read it yet. Roboloid's awesome, by the way. If you don't follow him, definitely do that.
Roboloid's my favorite robot.
What else is the mechanic? The foreteller. I think that's interesting, but I think it needs to be reworked a little bit because I don't like how if you put Ava in the 3rd slot and an HD Shion and then Riku, for example, it changes HD Shion to magic. I don't think it should change copy metals because copy metals change or use the attribute of the following metal. I think that because then it ends up changing Riku to magic for HD Shion's attack, which I think is a little bit of a mess, but yeah. That's how they do it, so we gotta live with it.
It makes me wonder if maybe they'll start bringing in more new game mechanics maybe every few months from now. Well, not every few months, but maybe like every 2 months. Seeing as how they just drop like 2 in 1 month.
No, we had Overwrite, and the next month we had Nominee. Next month we had the Foretellers and Sephiroth, so they're coming about every month. I'm interested to see what the new one's going to be.
It makes me wonder, too.
Because they're not... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, I wonder, like, what could be the next, like, Super Burst medal?
It's probably going to be a magic medal, because Sephiroth is basically Riku, but his reverse power, but has a Super Burst mechanic on it.
Well, I wonder how many they're actually going to give on that mechanic medals for, because that mechanic seems to be something they do kind of want to, like, limit up to a point. So I can see it being Sephiroth for like the reverse aspect of it, and then I would imagine we're gonna have to have some kind of upright version of it.
I would love an upright magic version of it.
I feel like they might keep that limited. Magic.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think it might be a little more limited for the time being, but
yeah, that's what
I think it's a way of actually making making Nova relevant. Because it's not really Nova, but it's an added damage that doesn't come from
what's a Nova
What's
attacks.
a Nova?
Right. Love getting that extra 110k in my PvP fight.
I know, right?
But I mean, it's
what'd I do?
Everything.
Keyblade Gabriel made a point about in Kingdom Hearts Key, they could equip 3 or 4 skills in their cards. So once you saw the Super Burst, it looked like another skill slot.
True, since with Super Burst, the way that it works is that it doesn't get affected by skills or the guild of a medal, but the traits do affect it as well. And to what I've read, and Roboloid, if you're still in here, quote me if I'm wrong, but it's said that the more 1k strength that you have, the stronger the burst is going to be. So it's when you think about it, it's kind of like as if like you're adding a couple more skills. Because I mean, take example, my burst with my first Sephiroth or my Fairy Stars does about 13 mil, right? And that's only with 1k strength on the medal itself. And I believe the multiplier, the multiplier does also affect the amount of damage it does as well. So I mean, it's kind of like as if like, instead of like an attack boost 6, you have like an attack boost 9, really, for that extra damage that you're doing, ish, or just an extra attack.
Yeah, I mean, it did seem. I mean, when I first saw the downbreak or the breakdown for the new mechanic, I was going like, so in a way, it's almost like a pet slot 2, which kind of makes sense for what it is, or at least for what we're seeing for what it is. But I mean, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to that mechanic. It looks like it's gonna be fun. But Law, so you have 2 Sephiroth now, right? So basically, you can put one. you can put yeah, right. You can put basically two different Keyblade setups and pretty much get that 7th attack in there pretty much. Yeah. So I mean, has that really like? I mean, I imagine it has, but I mean, how much of a change has that been for you in PvP?
It's been a big old change because I'm actually able to win more fights, not only with my fairy stars, but also with my divine rose. I mean, yeah, divine rose, yeah. No, not yeah, that one. I'm thinking Lady Luck for some reason.
How much damage on average does it do for you?
On fairy stars, it does about 16 mil extra.
Jeez.
And then on my
just from the burst?
Just on the burst, yeah. And then on my divine, it would also do I think about 12 or 13. Yeah, because like Roboloid just corrected me as well. He's like, it doesn't rely on 1K strength, it relies on the strength of the Keyblade all around. That's why, you know, whenever you have what do you call it? Well, whenever you have, like, you know, chips and dales adding onto your metals and whatnot, the strength of the metals, you know, the more strength on it, the more damage you should do out of that
like
burst.
Your actual strength stat. Okay.
Yeah. The only bad thing about Super Burst, though, just like Roboloid said as well, is that if you have way too many, you are most likely going to be passing by the 5-minute timer for PvP. Because,
well, if you use it smart, I mean, if you win your first fight and then use all the super bursts that you have in the second fight and guarantee you win the second fight as well, you don't even have to go to your third fight, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Well, no, because like my party member who's in top three at the moment for PvP and JP, you know, she told me that she could have easily beat the second ranked person right now, but due to time, she can't because of the amount of burst that is being thrown between both players. So that's the thing that I have a feeling they might actually work on, whether it's them extending the time of PvP now that they added Super Burst, or they somehow make it that Super Burst does not count on time.
I don't know. So to be fair to, I mean, bear with me when I say this. Like, you know, I think to make it a little more evened out in PvP, because PvP is still. I mean, the changes to it have been good. So let me preface my statement with that: is that PvP has been changed for the better overall.
Thank God those damn tier 3s are out of silver.
Well, yeah. But in a manner of speaking, I almost wish they wouldn't do that. I kind of want them to keep that 5-minute window there, just so that, you know, people can't, like, you know, spam EA on every medal along with Super Burst and expect to win at that point in time. You know,
you're only saying that because you don't have EA on every medal.
Well, I have EA on enough medals, I think. I mean, to kind of even it out. But then again, like, you know, right now I think I'm ranked like 13th, 14th right now.
Wow.
And I'm fighting people in the game right now who have EA on every single medal.
Yep.
And well, I mean, I'm finishing within the time limit, but, you know, if I also had EA on every single medal and then combine that with Super Boost, I mean, I'm okay. Honestly, for me, with my setups the way they are, without having EA on every medal, I'm okay with them having EA on every medal and then having like a Super Burst on every setup and then just timing out, and I get that easy win because they couldn't, you know, beat me out that way when they attack me. But when I attack them, if I get timed out when I'm attacking them because of that one, that will be rather frustrating, I think, for everybody who runs into that situation.
I wouldn't be surprised if they extended the time, but also if they extended the time, they could add more Keyblades.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if you're up there yourself, like, you know, on reset night, and you're trying to climb, and you're at that borderline ranking, like say you're ranked like 54th, and you are attacking somebody who's at 48, and there's like literally like 4 minutes left before the reset happens, and you encounter somebody that has all EA and like super burst on all 3 Keyblades, and you get timed out and don't get that top 50 rank rewards. I mean, I doubt you're going to be happy about that.
Oh no, I wouldn't be happy about it, but it is part of the game. I mean, I can't fault. I mean, if I would have attacked them
I'll say,
a minute earlier, they would have.
Oh, hey, Bob, where you been?
The only thing I'll say about it is it will lead to people staying in matches longer at the very end. Like, people are going to get in matches. Like, if they have to extend the time of Super Burst, is going to be a thing that people use as a crutch to get a whole bunch of points, and time is an issue and they have to extend the amount of time matches are per session against someone, unless super bursts, like you said, Lost, don't count towards the time at all, which I don't know how they would do that in the coding. I'm sure they could, but I don't know how they would do it. They would have to extend the time, which means that the amount of time someone can stall on the last couple of minutes in like the last hour to 30 minutes of PvP just got extended. So now you can stall for 1 more minute, maybe. That's still 1 more minute someone didn't get into a match and could have potentially beat somebody. So
that 1 minute in the last hour makes a big difference, especially if you're fighting in the top 100.
Like that 1 minute can mean the difference between being able to get into a match with somebody at the last second and like just under like 30 seconds get that win and break whatever top bracket you're in versus, you know, not being able to finish the match in time because there's too much EA or you just don't have enough time. You know,
I can speak from experience about how timing can always fuck with your ranking. It's the very first week of PvP. I beat a particular YouTube content creator, and that was actually, I found out today, that was his best rank he's ever achieved, was the first week, and I actually beat him 10 seconds after reset.
Who, me?
Oh, it wasn't you. It was Cucks Nation.
Oh.
Yeah, I actually beat him 10 seconds after reset. That's when the fight actually ended.
I'd be so
that was actually his best finish of all time.
Bruh, I'd be mad as hell.
That's happened to me a few times.
That's happened to me a couple times. It's frustrating.
God, that triggers the shit out of me because I'm
over
here thinking
top
like
100. It's hard enough to find fights as it is because you only, especially if you're like in the top 20. Like Aaron can tell you, you're only given like 3 options, and if they're always in a fight, you're just sitting there, just waiting. Maybe you can get like that 1 second in between their fights to sneak in. You can go an hour without ever having a fight, and it's frustrating as hell.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh shit, I need to do this size the thing.
That's kind of why I'm glad I don't really do PvP much anymore. I don't think I've done them today. Because 1, I have nothing left to evolve. It's just some slots.
The struggle. We caught up too quick.
There we go.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, the one thing that I'm looking at right now, or I've encountered right now so far for like the top 20 in PvP, it's like triple threat setups or status ailment setups are making like a pretty big comeback right now, which I was honestly surprised by.
Really? Because I haven't noticed that in JP at all.
Yeah, like so right now I'm looking at my game right now and I'm in the rankings, and I can tell you from experience that I've already fought these people. Let's see. Ian Naps, IOANNAPS, uses a treasure trove setup. And the top 10 too is also using it. Like so, it's like Lieutenant Legend 72. They are using a ailment setup, and a few other ones are too. I need to find them again. But yeah, I mean,
it's one of those strategies that kind of comes and goes with relevance. Like everyone was using it 2 months ago. Then everybody stopped. Everyone was using the highest DB.
Well, that's because people changed
DB4 max.
That's because people changed where they had their buffers placed, and they're okay. Well, they realized, well, you know, if people are going to change their buffers, then or where their buffers are placed, then I don't need to worry about you wasting a attack slot for a medal that has triple threat or paralyze or poison max on it. The thing I'm encountering right now with these people, like Lieutenant Legend, for instance, one of their Fairy Stars has, I think it was a Fairy Stars, has a triple threat on it. And despite the fact that it has a triple threat on it, it was still dealing without any combo 1 procs about like 88 to 90 million damage on me. And it was dealing a great deal of damage, and it was also inflicting me with the status ailment. The only way I was able to beat them out was I literally had to go and change my Keyblade order and actually go in there and change where I had my buffers placed. Which that's been when you're in the middle of like a reset time, for instance, like in the week, you don't have time to go in there and change your Keyblade order and also change the order your medals are in that Keyblade to stop people like that. So it's interesting that it seems to be not making like a huge comeback just yet exactly per se. I guess we'll see more mainly next week, but the fact that people are using those setups and they're being maintained. Like they are maintaining rank with those setups, which I find to be interesting because normally when you see them, you're like, okay, it's a triple threat setup, so you change your order and then you beat them and you move on, and you don't really encounter that again. And now it's just like, nope, here they are. They're staying around here.
Like I'm right here. You know, one thing that I just randomly thought about too is how in global the times for the Eastern and Central have horrible ending times for like hourly reset.
I love staying up till 3 a.m.
Like day reset.
It's so much fun.
You know what I was thinking about? What they could do is, if it's possible, to see where the players are located. Like if the player were to, you know, if an option popped up to let Square Enix know, like, hey, I'm in Eastern Standard Time or Central Standard Time or wherever, so that way, whenever, say, it hits 12 o'clock midnight for Eastern Standard Time, the PvP, just the PvP part of the, the PvP weekly reset ends at 12 just for the Eastern Standard Time people, that instead of 3 o'clock, so that way people ain't got to be staying up so damn late.
I think the only way that could work is if they actually separated each time zone into different servers, so you only fought East Coast people or Central people. Because if you're fighting someone on the West Coast but you're locked out, they can't fight you because you're already locked out. And that you already guaranteed a spot in the top 100, that's not fair. So they would have to break it up into each time zone, which is a global game. Don't see that happening.
That would be tough, though, as well, to try to implement something like that.
It does suck, though, because, I mean, staying up till midnight on the West Coast, that's not that hard.
Yeah,
staying up till 3 a.m.
compared to Eastern.
Yeah, 3 a.m. I'm not staying up till 3 a.m. anymore. I did that for like the first 2 months. I'm not doing that anymore.
It's either that or they could at least like try to maybe move at least just the PvP weekly reset to, like, I don't know, at an earlier time that's reasonable. I mean, I know it's not everybody's gonna be happy about it, but at the same time,
hey, why
it's
don't you
better
just change PvP reset time until like the daily reset time, 7 a.m.
Yeah,
4 a.m. I mean, that would be 4 a.m. for Pacific, so it's still kind of hard. But I mean, other than mobile games that I play, like Dokken's mobile reset is at like between 8 and 9 p.m.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, maybe they should do it at like maybe 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific, and then that way it'll be like, what, 10 or 11 in Eastern.
If they did 6 Pacific, I mean, the biggest problem would probably be like the Asian countries in Australia. But that'll be 9 Eastern, that's 9 p.m. for Damo, which I think that's very doable for him. It'd be 11 p.m. for people in Sydney. Again, still pretty doable. So, I mean, that's not a bad time. 6 p.m. I could definitely live with that.
Yeah. I mean, at least, like, you know, like I said, just for, like, specifically the PvP part, and that's it. Like, you know, like the game weekly reset or whatever it is can stay at its normal time, unless, like, people truly want to wait to, like, or get up like freaking Ice does and wakes up in the morning just to pull. So.
Hey, man, dedication, right?
No, it's bad because
if you have your ritual, you get up at 2:58. You get up.
Yes, I used to do that shit.
Do toilet bowls at 3 a.m. That's fine.
Yeah, I legit, like, I think each one of us, like, either still has a ritual or used to have one.
I have never had a bowl ritual.
Yeah, I used to have it where for some reason my mind would wake up like maybe 5-10 minutes before reset when I knew a medal was gonna be coming out, and then like either pull and get pissed and disappointed and go back to sleep, or be happy and stay awake just looking at the medal like, I got it. Like I used to be that
like
guy.
At 3 a.m. when a medal's come out, but it just happened. I just happened to be up at 3 a.m. I didn't intentionally stay up because a medal was coming out, but
yeah, it was pretty bad.
But I found no luck at any particular time of the day in polls or trades. So,
well, and
I get a dupe. I trade that shit anytime.
Well, we got to do it even numbers, man.
No, even number. I'm just gonna play.
So, I don't know.
I rolled an even number and got sleep, so that theory's debunked for me. Doesn't work for me. If it works for Spine, that's great. Doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
it's like my high school challenge medals.
I mean, with that whole trade theory, like I said in that video, you know, half of the time it worked for me, half of the time it didn't. But then, like, you know, I just got that realization. I was just like, I mean, it's been the same crap since like forever. I don't see how it will all of a sudden change without notice. So, yeah, why, you know, try? I don't know. I'm not trying to say that his theory is bad, but I kind of just like, I don't know, gave myself a slap in the face. It's like, this is pure RNG. You know, I really shouldn't.
Oh no, I don't think his theory is bad. If it works for him, that's great. If it works for everybody else, good for them.
Yeah.
It can't be proven. It can't be disproven.
Oh, God.
I personally don't want to go out of my way to wait for an even time slot to trade a medal. Yeah. Because then I'm end up getting sleep and be like, why the fuck did I do that? When I could have just rolled the damn trade and got it over with. Like, yeah. I personally don't believe that there's any correlation to it, but that's just me. If it works for you, do your rituals. More power to you.
Right. Like, go pee in the bathroom while you pull.
Toilet poles, man. Toilet poles are a thing.
Toilet poles are the new meta. But other than that, so Aaron.
Yeah.
How many times are you pulling for Sephi?
Well, so you get some. What are you talking about?
No. I mean,
and it's like, damn, I'm not. I'm trying not to sound like I'm a heavy puller, but you know.
For metal, like I said, I have that rule that for medals that were non-mercy, I'm not going to pull more than 15 times.
Golden rule.
But I also did say that there are certain medals that I might try a bit more than that for because they're worth it. In which case, I think the Sephiroth is.
Oh, you lying piece of shit!
Medals, but I'm lying piece of shit. I am not going to. I think 15. I think honestly, 15 will be the max that I'm going to pull for that one. If I do end up pulling the full 15 times, at least I can say that I got.
I will give you a pass.
I didn't think it was gonna be
if you get them within 15, you can pull more than 15 times getting traits. But if you don't get them within 15 and you keep pulling, I'm going to Texas to smack your little midget ass.
Bruh, I don't ever recall, bruh, ever recall this man saying, hey, but there's an exception. If the medal is worth it. Nah, bruh, it was you shouldn't ever go over 15 pulls. Now all of a sudden he put on the spot. Now he put on the spot. Now he put on the spot, and it's it's 15 pulls. But I did say, in some instances, I may go over that limit. Like, no, bro, you can't just be making up rules. That ain't how this works.
So for everybody listening right now, on Lost Stream and everything, this is proper. He's our conscience. He's our guiding light.
Our conscience.
He keeps us on the straight and narrow. So
unless it's Dokkan Battle, and that's another story.
Whenever I think I'm gonna do something stupid, I get this little voice in my head, and what it says is, "Nah, fam, nah." It's proper voice. I hear it. Like,
I don't hear that. All I hear in my head sometimes is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?
You lying son bitch."
Yeah, no, 15 times will be the max, and I do plan on. I was talking about this to Lost earlier today, briefly. When I do my pulls, I'm either going to do them on a live stream, or if I'm doing it on a video, I'll do it on a video with voice chat, and I'll have Lost there. And if like Badger or Proper or Spine or Damo or anybody else wants to show up for me on voice chat while I'm doing those pulls, then I will do it for them as well. We'll all be there.
What you got to do is when you do these polls, either do it in the voice chat, do it on a video. We need to see visual proof of 15 cloud medals. Because I assume it'll be the same as JP, and we'll get 15 6-star clouds in the banner. There are more than 15 cloud medals. You're a lying piece of shit.
Yeah, but I could go there. I could go there and I could sell medals, and you would never know. So I mean that doesn't really count.
If you're doing it in the live stream, it doesn't count.
Yeah, live stream is something different. Live stream, you guys actually see them all. And then I would end the stream and pull like 5 more times. Like, come on.
Yeah, he'll fake internet outage and go and sell like 5 and then just come back. Oh well, I pulled 5 more times, still didn't get him. So,
I mean, at bare minimum, providing that. So say for instance that we do get So I imagine that tomorrow night on Sunday night we're gonna get the third stained glass medal, which means we'll probably get Sephiroth. What? We'll probably get Sephiroth either Tuesday or Thursday. So by that Tuesday or Thursday, I'm gonna have about 54,000 jewels.
Well, Coda's not fun in this, man.
What?
It's like, God, I want to go for all those pulls, but it's like, no. Oh.
Wait, like you actually like want the stained glass medals?
No, for the Sephiroth.
Oh, man, I can see
it's
you
actually
getting
hard
it.
for me to save, like, to actually hold on to jewels. Like, I don't think I've had this many jewels saved for this long, like a long time. I've had over 20K for like 2 weeks now.
Oh man, you're sick.
I've spent some, and then I never went below 20, but it's. I am sick. I'm saving because I don't need any of these stained glass medals. I didn't need Envy, Gula, or Aced because I don't really care for what they did.
Bullshit.
Why would I care about that? I got Alvenir and I'm good.
You know you want the bear.
If Sephiroth comes out, I'm not even sure if I want to get Sephiroth because reverse power isn't a weak attribute for me. I'm pretty stacked on reverse power. I really need an upright magic. That is my next thing I'm bowling for. So I think more than likely I'm going to skip Sephiroth and just get an upright magic.
No,
because my Jack and Bob traits were shit, as usual.
Jack and Bob.
Oh, if you look at my guide, I actually wrote Jack and Bob for Aaron.
Did you really?
Yes, it says Jack and Bob. Everything else is spelled the way it should be, except I cut out HD and illustrated on a lot of them.
You know what? I actually saw that. I saw that, and I was like, I'm not even going to bring attention to that.
I didn't notice that.
No, someone actually, I think it was Merv in my party. I think he actually took his zoomed in and circled it and laughed. I was like, that's just for Aaron.
Oh God! All right.
Hashtag what is it? Jack and Bob.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think I'm kind of.
That's a new hashtag. Follow Damo. Definitely keep doing follow Damo. Prop ain't shit. And Jack and Bob. Those are our hashtags.
God. I'm kind of in the opposite banner, opposite attribute portion for me from Badger there. That's like my upright power is pretty weak right now, which is one reason why I'm actually kind of glad that we're getting this new cloud as well. And that it is a 5-pull mercy. So at least I can get like, hopefully out of 15 pulls, if it does go to 15, I can get like 2 good traded clouds and, shore up that lacking I have in attributes at the moment. So that'd be nice.
Upright power isn't really a strength for me. It was one of my weaknesses because the best thing I had was Herc with ground, air, and EA.
Must be nice.
Which that's not a weakness, but since I got Era with perfect traits, I'm not too worried about it. Upright power right now. Upright speed is definitely something I need to work on.
Upright speed, yeah.
Nah, well, if this
upright magic. Upright speed, I'm good. My Riku's perfect too. Upright magic is what I need.
That's fair. That's fair.
I had less than 12 pulls on both of those and got perfect traits. Kiss my ass.
No, it's dirty.
I just showered. What are you talking about?
Oh man, here we go. Let's do it live. But
Mama?
Say what?
What?
Okay. What was I gonna say? Hey, Prop, are you pulling for Sephiroth or no?
So happened to get your boy in the pools going for Cloud. Then I will be a happy camper, my friend. I will shout it from the mountaintops. I will post that shit in Discord, and
you will send it to Ice and say sorry, fam.
You will hear all of us yell at the same time. Prop ain't shit.
I will talk all the trash because it will have been earned. It will be glorious.
If I do a YOLO poll and I happen to get him on the YOLO poll, I will record myself singing One Winged Angel in Latin.
Oh my God.
For you. Why don't you sing it right now?
Oh fuck no.
Yeah, I can rock with
I told Losses a couple times. I actually sang that once at work because I was listening to the One Winged Angel at work. And I was chanting it in Latin, and my boss thought I was summoning the devil.
I mean, I could kind of see that if I didn't know anything about Final Fantasy.
If someone just starts randomly chanting in Latin, it's a little concerning. So I get where it's coming from.
You know what, screw yourself. I will do my utmost. I will try and get back from my classes on time and do a live stream pulls for Sephiroth. And if I pull him, I will pull up the Latin lyrics on my computer, and I will fucking sing that song on live stream if I pull him.
Oh, you heard that, folks. We have this recorded. This was live just now. Aaron's gonna sing if he gets Seffi. So everybody better start knocking on wood.
If I do a YOLO poll and I do happen to get him, trust me, you do not. Yeah, it's live. Streaming on YouTube and Twitch right now. You do not want to hear me sing. It's not a pleasant sound. It sounds like 1,000 dying cats. It's not. It's not pleasant. You better hope I don't get him in my YOLO poll.
It's time for you to start drinking a little more. Then maybe we can get you to sing.
Okay.
Ain't gonna deny that.
Actually, I was kind of hoping Damo would be here because Damo actually brought up a good point earlier in the week that we could talk about.
About what?
And that was defensive medals pretty much being useless now. To an extent.
What do you mean?
Him and I were talking about like defensive setups, like Mr. Incredible and Violet, still very good defensive medals. Ava's a good defensive medal.
Mm-hmm.
But in a lot of like scenarios, enemies are still going to one-hit you. Coliseum, you can't go defensive in Coliseum.
True.
I mean, they're going to just one-shot you off the bat no matter what defense that you have. You might get away with being able to turtle like organization events, but even then, it maybe.
Uh-huh.
And you still would probably need all of the defense medals possible, which means you're not going to have any damage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, defensive medals, even the HP trait, actually used to be viable way back when. Like before Tier 5, when you're actually doing story mode and actually would get hit.
Yeah.
HP actually mattered. But like in my guide, I even ranked all the tiers or all the traits, like in value of importance, and graded them on a number basis. HP got 0. HP is an absolutely useless trait, serves absolutely no purpose.
The only time I could like defense is like that.
No, defense can actually come in handy in PvP. Maybe. Like if you're very close to someone, defense could maybe give you the edge. HP don't do shit. The only time HP would ever come in handy is if you try to turtle a raid boss. Because raid bosses really don't hit that hard.
Yeah.
You could actually defend against a raid boss hit. And HP might come in handy. That's pretty much it. HP is not helpful at all.
You know, I wanna see if somehow I can get myself a medal that has defense, but like 2 copies of the medal, one that has a defense trait but one that doesn't. See if I can somehow manage to face the same player to see if the damage, like if the amount of damage that the enemy does is either the same or less with that defense trait.
I mean, you've got to have quite a few like Tier 3 or 4 or 7-star medals. You might be able to just roll traits and get that, and just do a test. That'd be an interesting video, and just like see what the damage output is. But you'd have to get high enough in PvP to actually fight the same person.
No, of course. Which is why, like, I wish I had like a medal, like a strong medal that had defense, like 2 medals. Like if my Sephiroths had defense trait on it. Like if I were to do one, if I knew I was guaranteed to get a defense trait, like I would make that risk just for a video to get data out there. But I would do it where, you know, I would go into a fight with the no defense trait Sephiroth, then get out of there. You make sure I record the information, and then trait Sephiroth, see if I get lucky as hell with and get a defense trait, and then go back in and see if there's any difference. Because if I do see a difference, then I won't hate on defense trait as much as I do.
It doesn't serve much purpose. I mean, ideally you don't want it. I mean, I would take almost anything over it, but I guess it's better than HP.
Like, it matters a little bit. Like, I've seen a bit of that on the whole. Like, when I've had Keyblades, I had, like, you know, 81 or 82 K defense on it and everything, where medals like Aqua B, for instance, you know, my Aqua B deals about like 800k to 900k damage per hit on the first hit before EA activates. And I've noticed that when I'm attacking players that have higher defense on their medals because of those defense traits, it might deal, you know, like 100k damage difference. So that's what I've seen so far when I was looking at that kind of thing. So I don't think the difference is going to be like too much to like really want those defense traits regardless. So far,
someone
anyway.
posted in the chat right here that some metals get stronger with higher HP. That actually goes off percentage of HP that you have, not like the number of HP that you have. If you're max health, you're going to get the max multiplier. It doesn't go off of, okay, you have 7,000 HP, you get the max multiplier, compared to 5,500 HP. If you're at max health, you get the max multiplier. The HP number doesn't make a difference.
Which that was, so do you think that HP metals or metals that rely on HP is not as effective as not as effective in PvP as it would be in like other things? Like,
no, because I mean most EX metals rely on max HP. Like I believe Riku, is Riku enemies or is that HP? The foretellers definitely rely on HP, and they're going to do the same amount of damage if you have full HP at 5,900 or at 7,500. They're going to do the same damage. I've actually tested this a long time ago, back when I got Xion EX.
Yeah.
Because I was curious. That was my first EX. I was curious how that actually worked. The actual number doesn't make a difference. It's all about percentage of HP that you have. In PvP, HP doesn't make a difference. It always counts for full, so that doesn't make any difference at all.
You know, I just had a random thought too. I know that we just got Super Burst Sephiroth in JP, but our last EX medal wasn't. Our last EX medal was Nominate EX Kai. If I'm correct, I might be wrong. No, yeah, that was our last EX medal. Why do I have this strange suspicion that we're gonna see an EX medal banner tomorrow, since we haven't got an EX medal in over a month?
Oh, Riku was EX.
Was
yeah,
it?
Riku.
Was it?
I think the foretellers technically are too.
And the foretellers were also EX medals.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Because I was thinking about, I was like, wait a second, we haven't got one in a minute. Shows how much I pay attention. It's interesting.
That's all. So Lost just confirmed his true whale status. He doesn't even look at what the medals are called. He just sees new medal, pull. New medal, pull.
You know what? I'm not even.
Dude, you do the same damn thing. Shut up.
You know what?
Don't call him out on that shit.
I have not pulled for the Dusk medal, and I have not pulled for the new Stained Glass medals.
Well, the new Stained Glass medals suck. That's not true. They don't suck. They don't suck, but they're not that great. I wouldn't recommend pulling for them.
No, I mean, like, it's just like I said in that video, like in my update video. You already got Kyrie and Xion, or you already have Era and Ava. It's an easy skip. Unless you truly need that medal, or you want to add a little bit of damage if you manage to get extra attack for PvP. But other than that, it's a pretty easy skip, in my opinion. I don't know, it just depends on one setup, too. Because if you do, like, a mixed Keyblade, then you can have like one or the other buffers, but then at the same time, if you have like, say, one of these like good prime metals that does cover like the opposite of it, then you know you can work around it. I mean, that's how I do with Fairy Stars.
Like on the Stained Glass metals, I mean they're not bad metals. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I actually thought about getting Stained Glass Terra over Era, but I went with Era because of the kill percentage. I mentioned it last week.
Slot like, placement.
That's it.
Basically, because I was thinking, well, Era does upright and reverse. That'd be great on my Coliseum Fairy Stars because I do upright and reverse. But I get those buffs from the metals I use anyway, so it doesn't make any difference whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you already got Kyrie, and then say, like, take example like my Fairy Star setup in PvP right now. I have, what do you call it? Kyrie, but then like I also have a bunch of reverse metals as well. So my Prime Roxas pretty much covers that part, and then I got Sephiroth after that on my 4th slot. But I have copy metals, copying him forward and behind. So it's just like that part is pretty much covered. And then like my pet slot is an upright metal, but it's already covered by Kyrie, so I ain't got to worry about the metal doing like a little bit of damage because it doesn't have like the full buffs and debuffs, you know?
Yeah. And that's kind of the bad thing about all these new metals is they buff themselves, so buffers really don't make as much of a difference anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, they still do, don't get me wrong, but they don't make as big of a difference. The foretellers especially made it that way because foretellers do all these buffs and do good damage. Which the stained glass metals do okay damage, but the foretellers do a little bit more. They have a little bit higher multiplier. And especially Era has a little bit higher guilt percentage, which makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really...
I think if... Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think if you were to have made a decision whether you go in for a foreteller or you went for a stained glass metal, I probably would have gone with the foreteller. Granted, they're not here anymore. So if you miss them, stained glass metals are a good option for you if you miss the foretellers. But I still would have preferred the foretellers.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing out of this, though, I mean, like to everybody in the chat, like, this is just, like, our opinions on it based on our Keyblade setups and metal inventory. Because we don't know everybody's metal inventory. We don't know everybody's Keyblade setups, how they set it up, etc., etc. It's just the way that for myself, I'm speaking for myself, like, the stained glass metal, the only one that I put was for Terra, only because of the fact that my up by power was lacking compared to like all of my other attributes, you know. So I mean, that's like the main reason why I'm saying what I'm saying now. But of course, that's just my opinion, though. Everybody is gonna have different opinions. What'd you say?
And that's the same reason I went for Era.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I actually was leaning towards Terra, but the guilt percentage is what pushed Terra out of the picture, and I went for Era.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it for 1 second because I got perfect traits on him, and I'm very happy I did. So, sorry, Terra.
Yeah, so I mean, it works either way, really. I mean, how can I say it?
I think the only thing that made me want to get Terra in the first place, really, or actually any one of those for the most part, it was if you're running like Era, for instance, or even Kairi Kai, you don't get the reverse buffers. And if you're using a metal like Prime Roxas, for instance, Prime Roxas does not give you max reverse attack up immediately. He only gives you a ×3 each activation. So you are losing a little bit of damage, like on Fairy Stars, for instance. If he is the second metal you have going in there, you are losing out on a little bit of damage from that. So you kind of have to like factor that in a little bit, which is kind of why I wanted Terra to kind of like shore up that lack of damage if I did want to run Prime Roxas. But overall, what the guys are saying are right. If you already have a Kairi Kai, or if you have like one of the foretellers there in your first slot on Fairy Stars, you're better off. If you didn't get a foreteller medal, then pulling for a stained glass as the next medal set.
That's another thing. I thought about during the con.
All right. Apologies to everybody just now, but for some reason my my live stream just disconnected. Trying to see.
Hello.
Trying to see what in the world's going on. Yeah, can you guys hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, for some reason, my the live stream and the chat at the same time was going off. Somehow I got disconnected, so I apologize for that. I don't know what in the world just happened, but it seems like we're still on.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. No, I'm showing I'm having a good I got a good connection right now, but for some reason, like, for about 30 seconds, it was like going to like no connection at all. So I was surprised that I was still able to hear you guys.
And Cox Nation has a point. It does last. The stained glass metals do last for 2 turns, which is helpful. But in Coliseum, I don't want to last 2 turns. I want to 1 turn that shit, get out of there, so I can actually advance further faster.
It's because you're a fatty whale.
Sorry.
I guess you would know what a fatty whale is, huh?
Me? No, I'm free to play. What you mean?
You're the greatest free to play player of all time.
I know, right? I'm so good.
Oh, all right, man. Damo. All right, Damo, calm down.
Sorry, Mike. Oh man.
Oh, he's gonna listen to this later and
he's gonna be like that dick.
What do you mean later?
Well, I'm assuming he's dead asleep
I think
right
he's
now.
recording this, so he'll post it on YouTube afterwards. So.
No, yeah, it'll get posted afterwards, in case anybody misses it. Now, I cannot remember if in the last podcast we talked about the Big Hero 6 trailer.
We did quite a bit.
But now, I think we also got that like extra little scenes and whatnot, especially with to anybody who has not watched. Before I continue on, this is gonna be a big spoiler alert if you have not seen this part. So I'm gonna give you guys like 5 seconds to either like mute it or I don't know, do something. But so yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But did you guys see the fight, the small, like, I don't know, like 30-second clip between Sora and Aqua?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was insane. But it makes me wonder, like, at what point in the game are we going to do that, though?
Well, one thing that I saw
I bet it's early.
On that trailer that got me really, really curious, and it also kind of ties in now to the cover art, is that Aqua's hands are the hands of the Darkling.
Yep.
From Cux. So I'm assuming that's a Darkling. That's a Darkling.
How long have I said she's not Norded?
You're not Norded.
Yeah, thank God she's not. I was like, you can't do my girl that.
Excuse me? Your girl.
Lost. It wouldn't even be a fight. You would lose before you even tried.
Look, you already said how much damage your fairy star does, so I don't want to hear shit.
Dude, he's got like 9 inches on you. And I'm not talking about that size.
Oh God! Oh, I was like, wait a second.
Yo, David beat Goliath. That's this. Keep that in mind. David beat Goliath.
Now we're getting religious up in here.
Yeah. What the hell?
All right, fine.
And I'm pretty sure a bunch of fat people sat on top of midgets too.
Lost.
What?
You have never encountered true little man rage, but you will.
You know, I want to see that little man range when you don't get
I
Sephiroth.
punched him in the face.
When you don't get Sephiroth, I want to see little man rage.
Oh, I want to see that so badly in live stream. Please do it.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny too, Aaron, is that when I was on my way home from eating lunch at my girlfriend's work that she works at, your video popped up of the first tier 8 medal, which was the Sephiroth EX Kai. And your pull video popped up and whatnot on that. Yeah, and I was watching that shit, and I was just like, damn, that medal died on me quick because I got shit's trades. But then I saw the trades you got, and I was like, this motherfucker. This dude got ground, what is it, plus 1,000 extra attack. And I'm like, this son of a gun. And I think I pulled so many times on that medal, too, because I was having trouble getting it.
Yeah, I think I pulled 13 times on that banner.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
So,
I'm so ready for January, though.
Huh?
I'm so ready for January. I cannot wait to get my hands on this game.
But Aqua's Nora, though, Capper.
No, she's not.
No, she's not. You shut your filthy mouth, Lost.
I mean, you could have Aqua. I got a thing for redheads, so.
Wait, for
you
who?
You can keep your blue hair. I
Your
like
blue
redheads.
hair.
Fair.
Oh, Aaron thinks otherwise.
No, man. Each their own. Like the less competition for Aqua, I'm okay with that.
Oh, I'm competition. I'm so flattered.
Oh goodness.
Okay, since we're talking about what kind of girls we like, now we know that Badger just said, because I just told everybody to unmute. Yeah, so apparently Badger likes redheads.
I like redheads. I like brunettes. I like blondes. I like everything.
Gay.
How on earth is that gay?
I mean, you just said you liked everything, so apparently you like guys.
And that would make me bi, but I'm definitely not bi.
I'm about to say.
Only for you, Boo Boo.
Oh, thank you, Boo Boo. Stupid. All right, what do you like then? So apparently we're talking about this. This just shifted the other way around.
This is so not Kingdom Hearts related, but go for it.
I mean, it's a podcast, so I don't know. Fuck it.
Unfiltered.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much with Badger here. I mean, hair color, the hair color doesn't really have a huge preference for me at all. I mean, I guess if I had a preference, it'd be like really dark hair or like.
I mean, I've dated someone with pink hair. I mean.
Well, I mean,
I
yeah,
don't
you
care.
that one. I don't know, like dark hair or like, yeah, redheads are very attractive as well. I mean,
I'm gonna cut you off first for a second because someone posted in the chat that Kyrie's a teenager. I never said I liked Kyrie. I just said I liked redheads. Just so you know. And she's also not real, so get your mind out of the gutter, people. Go on, Aaron.
Wait, what? She's not real?
no, like I said, I mean, I'm a Badger there. I don't really have a real major preference for hair color, honestly.
No, okay, well, let's just change it up because we're mixing things up here. Type of women.
Say what now?
Type of women. Like, we're mixing up,
Type of women.
Yeah.
And this is sexist.
Okay, type of guys. You want a cookie?
Not what I meant. I'm just saying we're objectifying women, and that's just inappropriate.
I mean,
Ross is gonna come in the door and be like, "What?"
Probably. Where be at? I'll live. Somebody said
Barely.
dick.
That's great.
Alright, so Aaron likes him thick, Badger likes him skinny and bony. Kodo likes some, I don't know, short, big booty.
No, I mean, I guess if you're gonna like go like off body type, you know, I like trim. I guess, you know, athletic, because I mean I try and work out more now. My knee is healed up, so I mean, I guess that. I mean, sure.
This got awkward.
It did get awkward.
It was a little awkward.
I don't know. I had to change it up just now, just to.
This might be a segment that you might want to cut, even though we're live.
We're a little too late now because everybody else is participating too. I don't know, but anyways, though, hopefully it would have been good for Damo to join in. Actually, you know who we should ask this question maybe off the. Actually, no, we already know the damn question. What am I talking about? Well, I guess another thing. Let's see. Is there a section? Okay, so what we can do now is we can do like a Q&A between everybody in chat, just like somebody literally just said, and
That's nice timing.
And you know, we can answer some people's questions through the chat. So if you do have any questions, go ahead and throw it at us, whether it be, I don't know, asking how tall Aaron is, or how skinny Badger is. I don't know, or how fat I am.
Questions or topics. If you have a topic you want to hear us address too, that works just fine.
How much does Aaron spend? Alright, we got a question. How can I be stonk?
Cool.
Let me pull up dictionary.com. I have a look what that means. Assuming that's strong, and either marry someone in my family, because that's my last name, or go to the gym.
I'll go to the gym, stupid. Oh, man. You can tell to everybody, like, right now, we wasn't too 100% prepared with topics during this podcast. We only had, like, one thing this week. It's kind of been, like, a deadish week, if you want to say it like that, between, like, what's been happening in the community.
It's just the hype storm is building. That's all.
Yeah.
It's that awkward phase, right? Where it's like when things were really hype, and now they're kind of going down, and then we're about to hit hype again.
Yeah, it's kind of just went like, wow.
Someone just asked, "Are you Jabba the Hutt?"
Am I Jabba the Hutt? Yes. How'd you know? Exposed. Let's see. Here's a wild idea.
They add copy medals that copy 2 slots forward or backwards. That's gonna be a mess.
Do they ignore the first medal in front of them, or they just copy the medal up 2 medals above?
Well, if they did that, then the Keyblades.
That sounds awfully confusing.
No, I mean, I guess you got to think about it. Like, I don't know. Let's use a Keyblade. Let's use since everybody's so familiar with this, Fairy Stars. If we were to copy, say, let's take the 3rd slot. We had like HD Nominate in there, and we were to somehow copy the 5th slot. We can easily make that Keyblade slot like a full-on speed setup. If you get what I mean. Like it would.
I guess. But what happens to the 4th slot?
No, the 4th slot will still stay the same. Like it would have to be a copy medal that would only specifically do that, and that's it. Of course, depending on the placement, because I mean, if you put that thing at the pet slot, it's going to copy.
But I think it would be kind of a mess. Interesting idea. I mean, it'd be kind of interesting to work with because that would definitely take away from the fact that we don't have an upright power copy medal yet. Interesting idea, but I don't know.
What?
That would be awfully. Yeah, I don't know about that. That'd be kind of interesting for PvP, especially.
That would be hell in PvP. What you mean? Can you imagine the spam of like the strongest medal ever? Like
it's gonna be nothing but KH2 nominated with EA and ground and strength copying Riku, and then HCC on copying Riku, and then Riku, and then a backwards copy medal. It's like, to stop with the damn Riku spam, okay? We see enough ice.
That would be like the next like big change in the meta. Can you imagine if they actually listen to this? Like say after like the many things that we predicted and somehow it came up into the game from these podcasts we've done so far. Can you imagine if that shit all of a sudden happened?
That'd be something. That would change a lot of people's games. Rikuception, that's a good way of putting it.
Rikuception.
Oh man. Let's see. What's this week's VIP?
Like I've seen some I forget who it was honestly, but they were running their Lady Luck and they had three Rikus on it. And then the Rikus were copied by a Nominee and by a Key Art Bonds, and I was just like, all right. I mean,
oh god, it sounds like a big old mess.
Yeah, that went up against my Divine Rose, which is the second strongest setup right now, and just like decimated me. I was like, and I even had DB6 in that setup, and I was like, yeah, I'm not winning this. They have EA on everything, and they just copied that Riku. Like that Riku went off like I think like 8 times.
Oh my god!
I was like, okay, you know,
that's outrageous. All right. What do you think will be the score boosters and rewards for the next global high score challenge that we're expecting in October? For the medal, we have no idea because other than Cloud and Leon and Nick and Judy, we're pretty much caught up on high school challenge medals, and
Shen Yu.
And Shen Yu.
Ain't nobody gonna use Shen Yu.
I think we're probably not going to get those as high school challenge medals. They might come in a banner. As far as score boosters go, they're probably going to be the stained glass medals and Sephiroth and Cloud at least, and then maybe whatever else comes out after that, depending on when the high school challenge is.
You know, I'm surprised that even though it was a shared anniversary, which I'm not going to get into, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Global did not get that high school challenge reprint.
I'm kind of glad we didn't, because I would have pulled like crazy on that.
I don't think we would have gotten that because that banner included high score medals that we had not gotten in Global. So it's like
that would have been a good time to put them in our game, because I mean we're probably not going to get the actual high school challenges.
Yeah.
We're eventually going to get them in banners. You might as well put them in that banner.
Yeah, but it's not like that hasn't happened before, because you guys had gotten high school challenge medals that wasn't even in high school
debuted challenge. In January when we got Dave's Riku and Final Form Sora and Nympho and a couple other medals in a debut deal. Scar came with Repliku Key Art 16 during our anniversary. They weren't actually high school challenge medals, but they were in JP. So
exactly. So it makes me wonder as to why they decided like, oh, we're just gonna skip these few high school challenge medals and just release them as banners. Like, okay, like it's easier for people to pull it. Yes, like everybody has a chance of pulling whatever medal it is they're trying to go after. But at the same time, it's just like that's not fair to JP. Just saying.
Right. I mean, I kind of want Cloud and Leon, especially in a banner. That way, I can actually get a high school challenge medal. It's good. And Nick and Judy too.
Yeah.
But I mean, Shen Yu, fuck it. I don't know. I kind of wanted the banner, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad we didn't get it because I'd be broke right now.
You'd be broke right now.
Oh, I would have chased Cloud and Leon like crazy. I would have had perfect trades on that motherfucker.
Oh, believe me, the temptation of me wanting to pull for more copies of Cloud and Leon to try to get better trades. Oh my god, I was pulling back so hard. I really wanted to destroy that banner because of that medal.
I love this comment in the chat. Cena works in strange ways. Let's just say it like that. I don't think Cena works in strange ways. I think that the player base is that meme of the guy sitting in the kitchen with the kitchen on fire. It's like, this is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of what we get. We're just like, this is fine.
This is okay. It's okay.
We're in a burning building, but, you know, this is fine.
It's okay. We're going to get our medals either ways. I don't care about what happens around me.
I mean, I'm sure we'll get it during our anniversary when Tier 9 and, God forbid, Tier 10 are out and Tier 8s are useless to an extent. But
I wonder when, you know, a lot of people have made a lot of speculations as to what was going to happen to JP's anniversary now that it's officially ending tomorrow. But a lot of people really thought that we was going to be getting Tier 9 medals, and I am so glad that did not happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of relieved.
Because
I think it could very well happen very soon, because when I was doing my guide, it's like 53 medals were in Tier 7, and there's 51 in Tier 8 so far.
Oh, God.
Granted, there was only 30 in Tier 6 and like 74 in Tier 5, but I mean, we're at the same medal count as Tier 7, so they could easily justify moving to Tier 9 here pretty damn soon. Especially with Anniversary ending, that might be their idea of the perfect time to do it. So, potentially be on the lookout for that.
I don't wanna.
I don't either.
Yeah, like
question says
we're gonna see if they do that or not. I'm curious because, like I said, the way they seem to have been wanting to increase the tiers by by guild percentage or special attack percentage, like, you know, like Era and all of them. But at some point in time, you're right, they are gonna have to drop in like the Tier 9, 10, Tier 10 medals. You would think eventually. But I think honestly, a good time for them to do that would probably be towards the end of December or at the start of January to keep interest in the game going, still progressing, as well as the KH3 releases. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they had, like, you know, some kind of like KH3 medals as like the new Tier 9s coming out. That'd be like a really good time for that. Like, you know, KH3, you know, KH3 Sora, KH3, you know, Kyrie, or KH3 Sora and like Lee, for instance, as the new Tier 9s. That way you get like one upright and then like one reverse, and then that would be the start.
Oh, and like the people that think that Cux is gonna end when KH3 comes out, absolutely no chance in hell. They make so much money off this game, JP and Global.
Yeah.
And with KH3 coming out, there's so many more opportunities for medals. I mean, you're talking about an 80-hour plus gameplay experience that they can take one cutscene or one motion and make a medal. No, we're gonna have a lot more medals, a lot more content.
And also, one thing too that also makes me think about this as well, in terms of the life of the game itself, that, you know, kind of makes me feel better about still spending money on the game, is the fact that Nomura even said that KH3 is going to be the end of the Xehanort saga, but Sora's adventures will continue. So there is room for this game to keep on going forward, and it could go away from, for instance, it could go away from, like, you know, what they're doing now and put in elements that take place like after KH3 ends, like little side things happening, like, and that way it can still kind of tie into like the main games as well. That'd be a really good thing for them to do in terms of like keeping interest viable in the game and such.
Well, like we talked about it earlier, it's like we know Global won't be caught up in Cux when KH3 comes out. Hopefully we're not too far behind, but we won't be caught up, according to Glacy. I mean, that could change. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see, after we are caught up and Cux storyline is where it needs to be canon with KH3, they kind of go in a different direction, kind of building towards the next game, whether it be Kingdom Hearts 4 or Kingdom Hearts 374,000 thing, whatever, pi or something, whatever the hell they call it.
What?
I don't know. I just rambled, but it's whatever they're gonna name the next game after 3, because they've had weird names. Who knows?
No. Okay,
surprised
hang on, wait. I
if
saw
they
I
actually
saw
use
something
cuts.
earlier today that was really
Go
good
ahead.
in regards to that. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it for you. That was really funny.
My thing is though,
I'll continue while you look.
where in the world would they actually take the game after KH3? Well, I guess it depends on what the ending turns
Lucio
out
in the
to be.
box.
Yeah, it's gonna depend upon the ending. Like honestly, I can see them being at Xehanort and then realizing, and this is an example, and it's like a common fan theory, I know, but they take out Xehanort and then realize Xehanort was just a patsy for the Master of Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could be like the next thing happening, or it could.
I don't want that to be the case. I mean, it very well could be, but I really don't want another one of those. Oh, it's Ansem is really the villain, but he's really just a puppet. Well, not really a puppet, but a minion of the real villain. It's like, okay. So we just went through our first experience, and he's really not the main villain, but okay, we don't actually know the real villain for like 7 years into the actual game series, so that's fantastic. Whether Lucio or the Master of Masters, whoever the main villain is for 4, whatever the next installment is, I hope he's actually the villain from the start, and it actually starts as the villain from one game to the end of the next saga, instead of introducing the main villain halfway through the saga.
True. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just waiting because again, Nomura said Sora's adventures continue. I guess it's gonna be figuring out how it's gonna continue.
I mean, this is Kingdom Hearts. It could go absolutely fucking anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, here it is. So they're sitting there going like, so explain Kingdom Hearts to me in a nutshell. And it's like, okay, so Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out in January. He's like, right? It'll be the 12th game in the series. It's like,
oh, did you share that on Twitter or Facebook? I saw that earlier that you shared it.
It was on Twitter.
That was funny.
It was really good.
Wait, hold on. Say that again?
It's like, explain Kingdom Hearts to me. And it goes, okay, well, KH3 comes out in January. It's like, okay, it's the 12th game in the series.
That's basically it.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get it now.
I mean, they could literally go anywhere after it, but I'm not really worried about what happens after 3 until I get my hands on 3 and beat that shit, because that's my main focus when it comes to the series right now.
Yeah, true. Well, maybe Sora gets to be 18 finally. What
maybe
the hell?
Sora will finally have dinner. That dinner's gonna be cold as hell.
Rip. So, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but too bad it's not January. Because what was the original first day? I forgot. But what was the original first day that KH3 was gonna come out before it got pushed?
December. What was it? It's like December 12th, 14th.
Was it?
I didn't know they ever had one. Yeah, I thought it was just.
Yeah, they had a date for it saying that it was going to be in December, and then I think it was tentatively placed for like the 12th or like the 14th, I think. And then we didn't hear anything about it later on. Finally, get the date. It ended up being in January. I remember the first thing when they were talking about it for this year was it'll be released before the end of 2018, and then in what I think it was it in June or was it in May?
It was like at the beginning of summer, maybe end of spring.
It was the kickoff of the. It was early June because it was the kickoff of the orchestra tour, which is right before E3.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Exactly. Yeah, and then once they showed it at that trailer for the orchestra, it showed it in January. So I mean, they initially had it for the end of 2018 in December, and I thought the date was like the 12th or the 14th, and then it got pushed back into January.
Which I don't mind the pushback. I mean, it disappointing when I first heard it, but I want a complete game. I don't want any kind of issues with it. Because I mean, games have been released in the past where they've had way too many issues at launch because it was rushed. I.e., Destiny 2, for God's sake, that was terrible. I would hate to see Kingdom Hearts fall into that pitfall.
I don't think it's gonna be an issue. I mean, considering it's been in production for like over 10 years at this point in time. I mean, I think it's been good. I mean, and honestly, like a lot of my fears were alleviated when they said that we're gonna get like between 70 and 80 real-time hours on just story, not counting side quests or anything else, but pure story. It's gonna be like 70 to 80 real-time hours. I was like, all right, you guys have
take your time.
Yeah, I'm good.
I mean, I ask you, please don't push it back any further because January 29th, I've already put my vacation in, so don't fuck with that.
That would be some shit.
I mean, I could easily just change it, but still. You've already pushed it back once. That's enough.
That would be some shit, dude. Straight up. Because imagine if I ran into this situation. Oh my god, I'd be so pissed. If I had asked for the day off and all of a sudden I was like, yeah, my doctor's appointment got moved. You trying to get the day off and whatnot.
I mean, this comment here is like, well, because there's going to be bigger games released in December. I don't know what games are coming out in December, but I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 is a pretty damn big game. I mean, it's going to beat a lot of other sales for a lot of games this year. I mean, it's probably not going to beat Spider-Man or God of War, Red Dead, but it's going to beat... I'm going to bet it beats Call of Duty.
I mean, honestly, I think that it has a chance of beating them or being even with them, honestly. Like, if you look at the if you look at the amount of pre-sales for it already sold and getting ready to go, it's already pretty high up there.
I mean, I'll say this right now. I think it beats Call of Duty in sales.
Probably.
I don't know. All I know is, guys, I have 2.5 weeks off with pay. They better not.
I only took 1 week. I think 1 week plenty for me. I think I'd lose my mind if I took more than a week.
What do you need 2.5 weeks off, you lucky bastard?
I mean, I get 3 weeks paid vacation every year, but I'm not using it all at once. I'm taking a week off in 2 weeks. Can't fucking wait.
Badger, I have, I think, what is it? I think I have over 280 hours of vacation time I can use.
Well, at the company I work for, we get up to 5 weeks, depending on how long you've been there. I get 3 weeks. But if you don't use it, they roll over 40 hours. But everything that you don't use over the 40 hours, use it or lose it. So.
Neat.
Must be nice.
Sick pay they do cash out, though. That's nice.
Shoot. Well, thankfully,
I think 1 week is plenty for me. I can't wait for my vacation in 2 weeks because I can't wait to see Halloween. I'm going to see that like 5 times, guarantee it. And then I got my 1 weekend end of January / early February, so.
Well, at least a good thing about my new job is I actually do get a paid vacation instead of a no paid vacation, like my last one. So, but I don't think I'm going to be using
I can't imagine having a no paid vacation. That's not really a vacation, that's just taking time off.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I did. I told you, my last job was shit. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, dude, my last job was shit. It's funny because one of the stores that I used to service, what do you call it, had called me yesterday, asking where I was at, and it seems like the news hasn't really spread much that I had to quit because they were pretty surprised.
You've quit 3 weeks ago? So
yeah,
you've had this job for 2 weeks and they haven't figured that out yet.
Exactly. So it makes me it makes me wonder, like, oh, it looks like they're just giving up on all the hard work that I did and whatnot, which is pretty sad. But I'm at the same time just like, well, I ain't gotta worry about that. I ain't gotta worry about that.
I bet within 2 weeks they call you, try to get you back.
I would laugh my ass off. I wouldn't go back.
I would laugh and hang up. I wouldn't even say a word. I would just laugh and hang up.
Like, yeah, you guys are funny. Actually, no, I just pass it to you. Be like, Batch. Say your thing. I'll put it on speakerphone.
I got you.
I can't tell what will be better if you put Badger on the line with them or put Prop on the line with them.
That would be tough.
I mean, I can just kind of sit there like,
depending on my mood, because if you get Savage Badger, you're not gonna.
We'll call it a new thing. We're gonna have a new podcast called Badgering by Badger.
Oh, that should be fun.
With honey.
Honey. I mean, you already know I got a couple people I'd love to call out. Coda knows.
Are you gonna make a new series out of that too?
Yeah, just ripping on people on social media and YouTube and all the wonderful people I come across on the internet.
Oh yeah, speaking of social media, have you ran into anything on Facebook this week?
Oh, just about every other comment on Facebook is one of the stupid things I find on social media. So, notably, I can just open Facebook now and probably find something. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look on Facebook.
This is all mine, boys.
Because if you guys don't know, Badge, he's pretty much 100% real and will not sugarcoat anything. So
oh fuck no.
whenever he finds a post that's just like,
I am salty about this. This JP player got 9s in Moogle polls. One that's pretty salty. Oh, here's one. Do I need to make adjustments with this setup? Cloud, Proxys, Kex, Riku, and Stained Glass, the speed one. Is that 9? On Fairy Stars.
What? Is this
you need to make a lot of adjustments. 1, you have no attack buff for your first 2 medals. Your attack buff comes on slot 3, which is a Kex, which is outdated. Your KH3 Riku is on slot 4, which means it's getting no multiplier. And Stained Glass is getting the lowest possible multiplier it could possibly get on slot 5. So yes, you need to make a lot of adjustments.
Wasn't there hold up. I just remember, wasn't there an admin that was trying to
Oh, the admin on that page that loves me? He's deleted my memes and has banned me.
No. I'm talking about the one from this week where, like, I think the admin wanted to do something similar or the same thing that you did with your what do you call it? The thing that you worked on, the little guide.
Oh, the guide. Oh, yeah. They've actually posted a couple different spreadsheets. I don't remember what her name is. Pardon me. I think it's a woman.
You think?
I really, honestly, I really don't know. I'm just gonna be politically correct and just kind of go with what I've seen of my best judgment. If you're not, I'm sorry. Not really. I don't know what their name is. But yeah, they posted a couple like spreadsheet type documents. Like literally the same week that I made my guide and posted it on that channel, on that page, which that's fine. I'm not salty about that. I think mine's more in depth anyway. If you haven't seen it, it's on Lost and Aaron's Discord server. Go check that out. I think it's in Lost video section and Aaron's general section. If you have comments, make them. If you want something to say, say it. I don't give a fuck. It will be updated live as medals come out. But I'm actually still trying to find something salty on Facebook. Kind of a dead day in terms of that. So.
Yeah, this week when it comes to like a lot of topics has not really been too high as it usually is. Because usually, I mean, most of the time in JP we have something new that comes out during the week, but that did not happen. And I was just checking out the banners a couple minutes ago, and I noticed that the stained glass medals go away Monday reset. So 100%, we are most likely getting a banner tomorrow. Because what?
Can I be 120% real today?
Okay.
Here we go.
Comment in the chat. Y'all should get Smelly Octopus to appear on the podcast. Fuck no. I can't stand that piece of shit. If you've been listening this whole time, he is the one that hid me from his channel because I made a comment on his video that disagreed with him. There is no negativity on his channel, period. If you don't believe me, you can ask Coda. Go back and look at his videos. There's no negative comments whatsoever. Sorry, Aaron, I know he's your friend, but I don't like him, period. So no, he will not be in this podcast. If he is, I will not be there that week. Continue, Lost.
And one thing to note is that we all of us do pretty much a unanimous vote on that, on as to who we would like to have in the podcast for like or future podcasts and whatnot. It's not it's not just based on like one person's decision. So if it's like 50-50, more than likely we're just gonna be like forget it. If it's more of a no, then that's kind of obvious and it's a no. So
I mean, I don't mean to rip on the guy too hard. If you like him, go for it. If you like his videos, that's fine. To each their own. I personally don't. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff a lot of his opinions. And I really don't agree with the fact that I can't make a comment disagreeing with him on his channel without him hiding me completely. I don't think that's a good way of just going about being a public figure. If you're a public figure, you're going to have people that disagree with you. It happens. And if you don't want people to disagree with you or post their opinions, I think you're in the wrong business to be a public figure. But that's just me. I don't make YouTube content, but if I did, if you want to make negative comments on my opinions or me as a whole, knock yourself out. I don't really care. But different personalities. He apparently does care. He hid me from his channel. That's fine. I don't sub to him. So
personally, for me, I don't hate the guy personally. It's just for me, I don't enjoy the flip flopping that happens a lot in videos. Like you can't say that, you know, that banners aren't content, and in the same vein say you like high score challenges, because for the most part, banner is, you know, hand in hand with the high score challenge. You can't say traits don't matter, and then in the same vein say, well, you need this, this, and this to do these events, you know, and you can't also, you know, say shit like PvP isn't a big deal, the PvP doesn't matter, and then stay up every single Monday night and wait for PvP to reset. Like, you're literally sending mixed signals to your community when you do that kind of shit.
No, I think he does a lot for the community. I think he's, I mean, arguably the face of the community in a lot of ways.
But outside of that, I'm sure he's a cool guy. Like, I ain't got no beef with the dude. He ain't done shit to me.
I don't appreciate his content and the way he goes back and forth on a lot. I don't agree with a lot of the things he says. I mean, that's just me. And actually, Aaron, I would love to get your opinion on this, because I know you are a friend of his, a fan of his. So I mean, if you want to make a debate, if not, end it here. But I would like to know your opinion on it.
I don't think that hiding the comment was the right response, honestly. I do agree with you on that point. I've gotten some pretty negative comments on my pages before, especially
for like, I get them all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't hide those because that's people expressing their opinion, and so long as they're not, like, you know, like throwing out like profanities or, like, you know, going really out of line, you know, like threatening me or dropping like a profanity filled rant or something like that, I'm gonna let those comments stay on the channel as people's viewpoints, because I mean, that's fair. So I don't quite agree that with what he did there. I do see you guys' point on the flip flopping, as you're saying, for his content. I think that his perspective on that has changed. I think that he could have been a little more clear on saying that, going like, hey, in the past I have said that traits, you know, weren't a thing, or they weren't as important, but now they are. You know, the game's changed, and now traits are more important because content is being geared around traits in a more, even beyond PvP. Like, if you're on PvE, like if you wanted to go and take on Sephiroth on the current Hades Cup, you need to have ground traits. If you don't have ground traits, you're not going to do any kind of damage to him at all whatsoever. So I mean, I think if you had been a little more specific, or if he had been more specific, I guess, in saying that kind of stuff, saying that, you know, I said this in the past, this is the way it is now, I think that would have helped a lot. On the whole, though, I mean, like I said, Smelly is a buddy of mine. I do enjoy his content. I still enjoy watching his videos.
I mean, there are other people who have other problems, and I'm not those people, and I'm not gonna speak for them. But, you know, it's just, as far as I'm concerned, that those are my, you know, issues. Which is, it's not like a big deal. It ain't no big deal. I mean, I still watch from time to time, but, you know, those are the issues that I personally have with the content and things that he says. And, like, kind of sort of going back and forth, or saying some medals may not be worth it, when maybe in the context of your setup they aren't. But for other people, like, telling everybody the foretellers aren't worth it is, I wouldn't necessarily say the best way to go about it if like, maybe they're going for Era or Ava, perhaps, and then maybe sitting on the rest and saving for some other shit. Because, I mean, at least with Era, he has the 120% guilt. You know, so someone could use it for that and then be set for the rest of however long until another Kyrie or whatever.
Yeah, someone asked what the comment was.
I can see that point there. I can see that point there in terms of the foretellers. But, I mean, in regards to that video that he made about the foretellers, he was saying that you didn't need to pull them if you already had Kyrie or Shion, which is technically, I mean, that's not entirely wrong at all.
You don't need to.
But he did say also, too, that if you did want the increased guilt, or pull for one of the foretellers at the 10 pull, but for the majority of players, a 10 pull for a buffer like that, like one of the foretellers, when you already have Kyrie and or Xion, wasn't really necessary for players who don't put money into the game. So in regards to that, he did say that. So
in hours, like now it was at a time where the like Kyrie and them had gone away, so Kyrie wasn't there no more as an option.
Yeah, but I mean, so by then, most players should have. You imagine that most players will already have a Kyrie and or a Xion.
If someone's coming into the game too, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. If they're a new player, but I mean, then again too, you kind of have to think too as well that as a content creator, I mean, there's a lot of stuff we have to remember to put into videos, and like there are times when I've done before too, where I may have forgotten to say, if you're a brand new player, then this applies. If you are a player who's been playing the game and already has these, this applies.
Just word it a little better.
I don't always remember to put that in.
It probably just comes down to wording it a little better. Like he could have worded it better than he did. Which, like I said, I don't have anything against the dude. I'm sure he's a okay guy. There's just...
No, I don't either. Until he hit my comment, I had nothing against it personally. When it comes to making YouTube content, it's not my cup of tea. But until he decided to silence my ability to speak, that I took personal attack on. But someone asked what the comment was, and surprisingly, coming from me, it wasn't like violent or aggressive in any way. I can read it for you. You can't see it because it's hidden, but I'll read it for you.
Hold on,
I'm not going to read you the entire thread because it was a long thread going back and forth. But what I said that got hidden was, aren't you doing the exact same thing? Saying you're right and blatantly saying his opinion is wrong. Looking back at some of your videos, there is next to no negative comments, which is suspicious as hell for anyone of your popularity. Maybe they're being deleted, or maybe there aren't any contradicting opinions to yours posted. But this one instance of differentiating opinion escalates. You handled it very poorly, in my opinion.
Real quick.
A threat to ban someone from your channel for voicing their opinion that differs from yours is standing by it.
Hey, Spike, by the way, pick Joker.
Pick
Joker is your guy.
Say what now?
No, he's talking in game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I was like, good luck with your channel. I mean, you're threatening to ban someone else that started this thread from your channel because he had a differentiating opinion from yours. I wasn't even involved in this chat up until this point. And if you think that's a hostile comment or anything like attacking him, that to each their own. I didn't view it as aggressive in any way. I mean, I was basically just standing up for the person that posted the original thread. But apparently he took that as fuck you and hid me from his channel, which that's fine. I don't really plan on commenting, or didn't plan on commenting on his videos anymore anyway, because I don't watch him. But now I really can't do it anyway, so whatever.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, to each their own. I mean, like when it comes to negative comments or whatnot on my channel, it's just like Aaron said. If if it starts leading to some like extreme, like racist shit, or like they're just straight up cursing or something like that,
just like a real personal attack, then by all means delete it. That's not a. I mean, definitely delete that. That doesn't belong there. But if it's a differentiating opinion, I mean, let people voice their opinions. What's the big deal in that? I mean, just because they disagree with you, you're gonna delete it? That doesn't make much sense.
Like there's always comments here and there whenever I make videos where there might be some things that I don't agree with, but I mean, you're right. I feel like everybody has a voice to to give their opinion on whatever it is the topic is about. Like take example the whole like Spineburger thing, how some people agree with the whole theory, some people did not, some people just went way past the level and all of a sudden just started like attacking a guy, and to
uncalled for.
Exactly. So it's just like comments like that I can understand. That is when I'll just be like, okay, like one, I'm gonna block you because you don't want none of that personal negativity like that on your channel or anybody around. But two, you don't want the comment section to be filled with like extreme negative things like that. So, and I always tell people in my videos too, like, you know, if there's something that I get wrong, let me know. Like, you know, and I say that all the time.
You say correct me if I'm wrong in almost every video. I mean,
exactly, because you know,
whether
if
you're wrong or not.
Yeah, if I get something wrong, I'm not gonna get upset about it. I'm just gonna say like, hey, thanks, or I'll, you know, if I don't say thanks, but at least I keep a note of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I mean, like I said, to each their own. I guess, you know, some people take things differently, because I know not everybody's the same. Everybody thinks differently and whatnot. I mean, I guess sometimes you can't control what others think, or maybe, you know, people automatically think like one thing and then they start, what's the words? They start like taking actions the wrong way. I don't know. Like I really I can't speak for anybody, so.
Oh, speak of the devil.
So, I don't know.
I mean, I got the screenshot, dude.
So,
I'm not going to go into it anymore. I got the facts straight right here. What are your theories about what medals we might see from Kingdom Hearts 3?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything, basically.
I mean, honestly, there's no limit on a medal. Even for now, I mean, they still can. I mean, if they really wanted to, they can throw out medals for all the Heartless, for all the nobodies. You know, anything, everything, guys. Anything, everything. I think the ones that we're going to see immediately, like I said, like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the first medals we see, aside from Riku, because technically speaking, you know, they've already done a Sora, a King Mickey, and a Riku medal already for KH3. Riku in particular is, you know, is KH3 outfit and everything, like Mickey is. But I imagine we're going to probably see Sora, Kairi pretty soon. And then we're going to see, like, we'll see the Lee, Roxas, and Shion trio at some point in time, I'm sure, as well. You know, again, new Aqua, Terra Ventus, new Vanitas medals, new Org medals. I mean, everything.
There's going to be a lot.
Not to say, because we already got our. Well, I mean, I think we've gotten like previous KH3 medals with I think Sora was one of them. But now, you know, they've upgraded. They've updated how they look and whatnot. So, and then we got the KH3 Riku like before Anniversary even started. So, we could be seeing like another Sora, KH3 Sora, KH3 Riku. We might even see an Axel. Just like Anna said, it just anything can pop up at this point.
If it's in the game, count on it being a medal.
Exactly. So, I don't know.
That's why this game isn't going anywhere after 3 comes out, because there's so much more potential for medals, which they'll profit off of. So.
No, and that's why, like I said, like I looked at the banners that are currently right now in JP, and it's like what do you call it? Yeah, it's like for sure there's gonna be like a banner tomorrow because of like the daytime and everything. Because we didn't get a banner like during the week. Because I think the Stained Class medals already came out the week before. Yeah, they did. So the last banner we've had so far is the Cloud and Sephiroth banner. So, yeah, the strong possibility of one showing up. Yeah, it's definitely possible. The question is, what's it gonna be?
What's the next one gonna be?
Aqua know it.
That would be a medal a lot of people are going to chase just because of aesthetic appeal. But regardless of what it did, it's just the fact that it's Aqua, people are going to go crazy for it.
Oh, for sure. Especially if it does like Super Burst, then 100%. But you know, it would be pretty interesting if they kept Super Burst to only reverse medals.
Don't say that, because I want the Upright Magic one.
Okay, now I'm definitely gonna say it, so that.
Oh.
Just so you won't have it.
Whatever.
I mean,
let's wait to get a reverse speed one, because that's not really an attribute that.
Well, it's
too
funny.
High on
it's crazy too, because nobody really uses reverse speed like that.
There's not very many blades that actually use reverse speed. It's Lady Luck, Missing Ache, and Possibly Stroke of Midnight.
Yeah, no, I mean if you have the Phantom Metal, yeah. So, I don't
know. Maybe they'll make reverse speed extra useful in the next Keyblade.
Maybe.
Maybe that'll be the slot 5.
I don't know. I guess
they could just take Fairy Stars and literally just swap every single attribute.
So
go reverse speed, upright magic, reverse magic, upright power, reverse speed. That would suck. I would not use that Keyblade because there's no upright power copy metal.
True. It'd be funny if tomorrow we get a copy metal, like the forward upright power that we've been wanting.
Who would you want it to be?
So
I don't care. As long as
I want to get metal.
It was like I want it already.
I don't give a fuck. Just give it.
Right.
I wonder why we haven't gotten it yet, though. Like, there's been so many copy metals, especially like the same type that upright powers never gotten any love.
Well, they took their time on like all of these like recent copy metals. Like what was it? Dusk, Phantom. Was that another one?
I mean, even Riku Replica came out in the spring, which wasn't that long ago.
True. True that. What else? No, I think those like the most recent ones though.
Still, we're in tier 8, like the back end of tier 8, possibly.
Yeah.
And we still haven't gotten them.
But when I think about it too, it's just like where would I use like other than Dark Now and Fenrir, right? And like Treasure Trove, like the only other places that I would use like an upright forward would be like Pet Slot, and that's about it.
And that would make really no sense because you just be copying a friend metal.
Yeah, and I already have forward copy metals like that, especially strong ones as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of uses for it unless they had new Keyblades, but Fenrir specifically, that would be great because I'd love to use Fenrir more, but I just don't have enough upright power to really do it.
Yeah.
So, another copy metal would help a lot there.
True, true.
It'd be good on Mog.
On which slot though? I forget.
Slot 5.
I was about to say, because I don't really use Mog like that. I just
it's
got it to
5,
35 and that's about it.
Yeah, except for Mog's highest multipliers
out,
1, 3, and 4.
So for it.
What was that?
Mog, when it first came out, I was so excited for it, and then I saw that slot 5, and I was just like, this kind of sucks now.
Yeah, this is disappointing.
When Mog first came out, it was a pain in the ass to collect the materials, man.
Oh, I know. I hated it.
God, especially especially when you couldn't even use skip tickets, and you had to farm it so many times until you were able to get the right amount of Heartless. That was a pain in the ass.
The pain I had, I think the problems I had the most with that Mog when it first came out was the getting so many enemies to appear, because they were random. Sometimes that joke and the group would appear, and sometimes they wouldn't appear.
Yeah, exactly. That was like my issue. That was like the biggest issue, especially when I struggled. Like back when it first came out when it first came out in Global, it was such a pain to do it. But it was so worth it at the end. But now I look at the Mog now and I'm like, you suck.
And I was like, yeah, that's sitting in the back of the closet collecting dust. I'll take it out when PvP comes around every 5 or 6 weeks.
Like it'll probably be good if you had like a booster for it. If we were to get like
it's just one of those awkward Keyblades. It's like, I don't like the Keyblades that don't have the highest multiplier in slot 5.
Yeah.
It's one of the lowest ones at the end. The highest multipliers on Mog are 3 and 4. Which I don't mind because when I do use it, I use those 2 slots very well. But I use the Keyart Sky at the end because the multipliers look like great anyway. So.
Not sure. You got a point. But
I just want new Keyblades, man. It's been so long.
Nah, man. You play Global, you don't get it now.
I know. We're gonna wait until like June to get our new Keyblade.
next year.
And JP's gonna get it next month, probably like in a week or 2, and Global will get it in probably at the end of June.
I was about to say by that
early
time.
July.
By that time, we'll be like replaying KH3 so many times and whatnot. Ain't no point. So
Keyblade I want to see next is Omega Weapon.
Yes.
please, Omega Weapon. If you don't know what that is, play 358/2. One is probably one of the best looking Keyblades, and it's one of the strongest Keyblades.
You know, it'd be something if we did actually get that. Like, we actually got that Keyblade. Like, we called it and everything, too.
I mean, we call everything else in this podcast. Everything that we say in this podcast pretty much comes true later on in the future, so...
Yeah.
I thought it would have shown up in the Days event.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That would have been really nice. That could have been a start of, like, future events, like, for any related Cucks game. Oh, excuse me. Any Kingdom Hearts game that would go into Cucks have like I don't know, like some kind of an event, and we get a Keyblade out of it. That would have been nice. But no, they don't want to give it to us, jerks.
Yeah.
So, but I think with that, guys, we are going to go ahead and end this bad boy off. Sorry that we didn't have like a full list of topics. We usually do, but again, like I said, I don't know, this week has been kind of dead. So, but hopefully next week, if we do get the opportunity to do the podcast with everybody, and we get everybody here, we can talk about some fresh new topics going on either in the community, in the game, maybe something new related to Kingdom Hearts 3, and we'll talk about it in the next podcast. So, boys, thank you so much for hanging out in the podcast tonight. And,
always a pleasure.
And we will see everybody next time.
See you guys.
Thank you, guys.